Guaranteed human.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. Hi there. It's the John Kobylt Show, and we're on every day from 3 to 6. And then after 6 o'clock, John Kobylt Show on demand on the iHeart app. And we are on YouTube live right now, YouTube Live. And just hold on a second, because I broke my headphones. I think I've gone through 7 pairs of headphones in the last year, and I constantly need new ones. So there you go. That works. There I am. All right. How are you? Good that you're here. Yes, we're live on YouTube, and we're doing the whole show today on YouTube, all 3 hours. So enjoy yourself. Just go to youtube.com. John Kobylt Show. That's how you find us. That's our channel, youtube.com, John Kobylt Show. And if you want to subscribe, you go to youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show. youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show. And then you get notifications whenever we go live, because obviously we're doing that more often. Boy, I've got so much stuff today. I do want to start out with something that really could affect your life next time, hopefully shortly, when you go buy gas. Do we have the Gavin Newsom clip from last week when Newsom was being hit with questions from the reporters who apparently have collectively come out of the coma, and they realized that we are paying well into the 6s for gas when the rest of the country's in the 4s? Newsom got pissy about it and said this.
Why isn't Donald Trump providing a federal gas tax holiday?
Well, Trump wants to. Today's story, this one I have from the Wall Street Journal and every other news source. Trump supports suspending the federal gas tax. Quote, "I'm going to," he told reporters in the Oval Office, saying gas prices will drop like a rock once the war winds down. But until it's appropriate, the gas tax is a small proportion. It's only 18.4 cents. So if he goes through with this, and I imagine he has to get Congress to agree with it, I don't know, maybe an executive order, he goes, it's a small piece of the cost of gas, but it's still money. So he's willing to take 18.5 cents off the price of gas. Now, Newsom has got about $2 worth of excess taxes and fees and regulations. Back to you. That was a phony, fake way of trying to change the subject, which is all he does. If he cared that you were suffering, I heard on Handle this morning, I think one of the people on Handel's show, I forget whose voice it was, said, he's looking at an extra $150 a month just driving to work and everything else in his life. That's $1,800 a year. Just a guy on staff here. Got to pay $1,800 extra, $1,800 tax. That's Newsom could roll back $2 worth of gas in the blink of an eye with an executive order or however they do this. Much of this comes from the California Air Resources Board, if not the legislature. So special session, special meeting of the California Air Resources Board, executive order, you can do it. Should be wartime here, because the last tanker of oil to be converted into gasoline arrived just a few days ago, and they've been draining it. And after that tank, there's no further supply coming from overseas. We've got nothing, because most of the oil that we use, that we import, comes from the Middle East, has to go through the Strait of Hormuz. Since that is totally shut down, the only gas tankers or oil tankers we've been getting were tankers that were already on the open water before Iran shut down the Strait of Hormuz. So we're done with imported oil. And they're a huge percentage. That's a huge percentage of the oil and gas we have. So this $6 now easily could shoot up, to $8 or more very soon, once we run out of this supply. Now, we're going to get some gas and oil coming from ships that are bringing it from the Gulf of Mexico, or excuse me, the Gulf of America, whatever the hell you want to call it. And normally they can't come here because most of them are foreign ships. And under a special federal law, foreign ships are not allowed to make deliveries to U.S. ports. It's called the Jones Act. It's from over 100 years ago. It's not worth explaining, but it doesn't matter what the reason was. They couldn't do it. But Trump signed an executive order and temporarily suspended the Jones Act. So now we can get ships to deliver oil from the Gulf of Mexico here to California. So that should provide some relief. Again, Trump did that. And now Trump wants to reduce the gas tax. What Newsom can do, he won't do. He refuses to give in because he's the last jackass in public life who's intentionally burdening his constituents because of his climate change obsession. I don't know if he actually believes this stuff, because I don't think he believes in anything, or it's the activist groups or his donors. Whatever factors go into Gavin Newsom's limited brain, his 93 IQ brain, they're more important than people here and what they're suffering through with these excessive gas prices. See, he doesn't care if it costs you thousands of dollars. Newsom and the Democratic legislature, their goal has been to make driving so expensive and so uncomfortable that we give up. And we start walking, biking, getting electric cars, whatever. Quitting our lives and just staying home and apply for welfare. And it's asinine, and it's so stupid, and it's so destructive. We've been through this 1,000 times. But he doesn't give an inch, which kind of baffles me, because I thought he would, just because this is not a sellable proposition when you go run for president. And he doesn't have that much time left being the governor of California. What is he down now to? Down to about 7.5 months. So that even if he leaves, even if the war ends and the price goes back down into the 4s, it'll be in the 4s while the rest of the country will go back down to the 2s. It's like this jackass is going to run on gas that's $2 more than everywhere else. I mean, he's so stupid, he doesn't even do something in his own best self-interest, which is where I'm baffled, because he's such a raving narcissist. You think he would do the flip just because you can't get elected selling $4.50 gas when everyone else is spending $2.50. It just won't work. His Democratic opponents are going to slice and dice and roast him during the primary, along with all the other issues all the other disasters he has on his watch. But man, the gas tax, the price of gas is so important to the popularity of a politician. I don't think most people really give a crap at this point exactly what's going on in Iran. They're upset about the $4.50 gas. That's what they're upset about. You know, after the first big boom of any war, within the first few weeks, after that, it's just this grind in the background that you stop noticing after a while, because nobody really is all that interested, other than military geeks. Nobody's really that much interested in war strategy. It really excites people in the business, but it's like anything. You know, people in the business are really excited by the nuances of their business. If you're not in the war business or the military business, you really don't give a crap. Because, you know, if you don't have a kid or a dad that's enlisted, that's in a war zone, then all you care about, number two, is price of gas in this case. That's all. So the war ends, the price of gas will move down. But again, California will still be $1.50 to $2 more than everywhere else. I cannot believe, for his own political survival, he doesn't suspend or repeal whatever he can suspend and repeal. Unbelievable. Because baseline is, it's done nothing to change the climate in any way. Nothing at all. Completely ineffective, useless, pointless. It's just stealing money, pouring it into the government abyss. That's where, and for high-speed rail. That's where a chunk of your gas tax money went, for high-speed rail. It didn't go for the roads because we have the worst roads in the continental United States. Only Alaska scores worse. And in urban cities, we have the absolute worst roads. Yeah, like urban boulevards and highways, worse than all 50 states. So we'll see. Trump is, Newsom had said the other day, well, why doesn't Trump do something? Why don't you ask him? Okay. Now he's on the record. He supports repealing the gas tax. See if it goes through. All right. When we come back, there is a new book out. I haven't read the book because it has not been officially released, although I think it's supposed to happen any day. But the California Post had an excerpt, and it's written by Jonathan Vigliotti, who is a CBS News correspondent. And I can't pinpoint in my memory. I know he had a great story he did during the fire coverage. I remember that name, Jonathan Vigliotti. Well, he has delivered a firsthand account of the Palisades and Eaton Altadena wildfires, how the city and state failures made the situation more catastrophic. So I'm going to read you from an excerpt, and I'm going to play you a clip from Karen Bass talking to Alex Michelson on Fox 11 over a year ago. And the big lie, one of the big mother lies that Bass told Michelson, and let's just say Jonathan Vigliotti has a different version here. Oh, maybe you could call it the truth. We'll tell you about it when we come back. Deborah Mark is off, and we have Regina D'Agostino live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here's the latest. President Trump says Iran's response to a U.S. proposal to end the war is unacceptable. LA City Councilwoman Nithya Raman says she no longer supports cutting police funding as she runs for mayor. And oil profits are surging as tensions between the U.S. and Iran continue to disrupt shipping to the Strait of Hormuz. We'll check the 10 freeway next.
GiveMeTheVin.com wants to buy your car, whether it's your daily driver, pickup truck, SUV, minivan, or exotic. If Give Me the VIN doesn't beat a deal from CarMax or Carvana, they'll pay you $100. GiveMeTheVin.com. You go to the site, enter your car's VIN or license plate number. You'll get an offer in minutes, well above any dealer quote. You can go to one of their pickup locations, or they come to you. It's easy, it's fast. GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Southland weather from KFI brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Today, sunny with highs in the 70s to 80s. We're going to some slowing in Santa Monica on the 10.
That's on the eastbound side, and delays here are backing up away from just about 20th Street. You're on and off the brakes across Mid-City all the way to the 5 in Boyle Heights. It looks like the problems in Calabasas continue. This is the North 101 before Lost Hills. 3 left lanes have been blocked due to a jackknife truck, big rig that is, and delays backing up away from Las Virgenes, slowing on the southbound side as well, because you got to check out all the action. And then big problems in Temescal Valley. Brush fire, 15 northbound before Temescal Canyon Road. They've got that right lane shut down. Delays loading up away from Lake Street with Southern California's most accurate traffic reports. I'm Angel Martinez.
Nick and Ari founded RefundYourLemon.com with one mission: helping drivers fight back when manufacturers refuse to fix defective vehicles. Their firm focuses exclusively on lemon law cases, helping consumers get refunds, replacement vehicles, or cash compensation. They've won cases in court and recovered major results for drivers across California. Most clients pay nothing out of pocket. If your car keeps going back to the dealership, learn your rights today. Visit RefundYourLemon.com. It takes just 2 minutes. That's RefundYourLemon.com.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
This report is sponsored by Hard Rock Casino Tejon. Hard Rock Casino Tejon, where every bite equals rewards time. Savor bold flavors at deep cut steak and seafood. Discover your love for Pan Asian at Yu or grab a classic at Hard Rock Cafe. Sign up for Unity by Hard Rock today. Must be 21 years of age or older. Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you're living with constant knee pain and you're dreading surgery, which you should, and you're looking at a long recovery, no fun. Let me tell you about Hoag Orthopedic Institute. Their award-winning knee specialists are changing how knee pain is treated. They offer the most advanced, minimally invasive procedures for faster recovery, better movement, and the care is personalized using the most cutting-edge techniques, including robotic-assisted knee replacement, state-of-the-art cartilage restoration. You get up, get active, and you're going to move without missing months of your life. And they accept most PPO and Medicare insurance plans. So call 800-919-2000 or visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com. That's H-O-A-G, HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com. Locations throughout Southern California, proudly physician-owned. That's HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com. Call 800-919-2000.
California Baptist University, California's largest Christian university, offers more ways to move forward. From pre-college credit for high school students to bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees, with flexible courses starting every 8 weeks. Apply today at calbaptist.edu.
Imagine a scenario where you or your loved one faces a threat. Your first instinct might be to use lethal force, but it's crucial to consider a less lethal alternative first to avoid the legal complications. Introducing Byrna, Byrna's less lethal launcher. This device is equipped with chemical irritants and kinetic rounds, designed to incapacitate an attacker for up to 40 minutes, providing a critical window for you to escape. Here's a real-life account from a Byrna customer named Adam. While heading to his night shift, Adam encountered a road-raging driver who swerved dangerously, stopped abruptly, and aggressively approached him. Adam dialed 911 and protected himself with his Byrna launcher. He aimed the laser at the aggressor's chest, which immediately de-escalated the situation. The driver returned to his vehicle and awaited the police. That night, Byrna saved 2 lives. Byrna is legal in all 50 states, requires no background checks, and can be conveniently shipped directly to your door. Over 750,000 units sold. Visit Byrna.com. That's BYRNA.com.
Tim Conway Jr.
How much walking a day? Do you measure it in distance or in time?
I prefer time. Distance is highly variable depending on your capability.
This afternoon at 4 on KFI AM 640.
30 minutes, 4 days a week.
But when you say that to radio people, they want to hang up on you.
I don't know what to tell you. You asked the question. What do you want out of me?
More stimulating talk.
Hello, I'm Robert Smigel. I did lots of things. Cartoons on SNL, Conan stuff, Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, some movies. But now I'm past my peak. So I'm hosting a podcast, Humor Me with Robert Smigel and Friends. Each week, me and my favorite comedians, writers, and whatnots help regular people just like you, presuming you're regular, who have some project or task that they'd like us to help make funnier.
Search Humor Me on iHeartRadio, America's #1 podcast network, and the Webby Podcast Company of the Year.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Coming up on the next Gary and Shannon show.
The guy who allegedly threw his wife off the boat in the Bahamas is now leaving a free man. We'll tell you the very latest.
Gary and Shannon show starts tomorrow morning at 9.
$1,000 giveaway.
Now is your opportunity to win $1,000. Yeah! Just enter the nationwide keyword on our website. Family. That's family. F-A-M-I-L-Y. Enter it now at KFIAM640.com/cash. Brought to you by Sweet James Accident Attorneys. Office in Los Angeles, California, and sweetjames.com.
Family, that's the word at KFIAM640.com/cash. If you win, you'll be notified by email. And check your junk and spam folder too. And there's a winning keyword every hour, every weekday. Starts in the 9 a.m. hour all the way to the 5 o'clock hour with me. Next chance to win is at 4:20 here at KFI. We are live on YouTube. Go to the John Kobylt Show page and you could watch this. We're going to do the whole show live on YouTube today. It's just me. And also, you want to subscribe, you get notifications for this, youtube.com/@JohnKobyltShow. This, I've been waiting for this. I always tell you, the real truth comes out in any major story a year, 2 years, 3 years later. when people start writing books, because while a news event is happening, while an election is going on, people lie a lot publicly. And what they don't lie about, they cover up. Think Joe Biden, his brain had gone to oatmeal, and everybody around him lied. And everybody covered it up. And then afterwards, after he drops out and Kamala loses, suddenly there's all these books. Oh, yeah, everybody on the inside knew that Joe Biden had oatmeal for a brain. Well, they all knew what was happening. Of course, we saw it with our own eyes. What else? You know what else we saw with our own eyes was Karen Bass not here during the fire because she'd gone to Africa. And there's a new book out. Jonathan Vigliotti, CBS News correspondent, he wrote a firsthand account of the fire. I've already ordered it on Amazon to get a Kindle, but it's being released any day now, just not today. They did print an excerpt in the California Post. And let me read you a little bit, and then I'm going to play you something that Karen Bass said in public on TV when interviewed by Alex Michelson a year ago. But first, let me open this up. This is an actual excerpt. I'm going to try to adhere to exactly the way he wrote it, and if I don't, I'll say otherwise. But he wrote, minutes after the Palisades fire began to spread, Los Angeles' then fire chief, Kristen Crowley, called Mayor Bass. The situation was escalating. It was 10:48 a.m. on Tuesday, January 7th. Crowley, get this, Crowley did not know that Bass was in Ghana on a profile building presidential assignment to attend the inauguration of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Bass had quietly exited Los Angeles, giving emergency managers just a day's notice, and where she was headed was never disclosed. According to multiple sources, here's the most important line. They're all big. According to multiple sources, Bass had been briefed before her departure about the National Weather Service's fire models predicting what could be the most severe wind event in years. But when Bass was questioned by former Fox 11 anchor Alex Michelson a month later on February 18th, she said this.
The mayor says LA Fire Chief Kristen Crowley did not call her to warn her in advance of the trip and didn't do the, quote, normal preparations for this kind of wind event.
That type of preparation didn't happen. If that had, I will tell you, Alex, I wouldn't have even gone to San Diego, let alone leave the country.
But what do you mean there were warnings you weren't aware of? Because I know we were talking about it on the news. A lot of people were talking about the problems, warning that this was going to be a huge...
So it didn't reach that level to me to say something terrible could happen and maybe you shouldn't have gone on the trip.
Why didn't it
But to me, I don't know. I mean, I think that that's one of the things we need to look at.
She lied there. She always lies. She's a liar. I hope this doesn't offend Colleen Williams, the Channel 4 anchor. I'm calling Karen Bass a name. Excuse me. She's a liar. And it makes me wonder why this wasn't ferreted out during the debate. Why the Channel 4 reporters didn't do the research. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti did, and he found multiple sources saying that Bass had been briefed about the fire models. Do you see how easy and convincingly she lied? This is what you're dealing with. This is a pathological liar. This is a mental issue. It doesn't bother her to lie. It didn't bother her to get the warnings about the fire and go to Ghana anyway, although part of her must have realized this is not the right thing to do because she didn't tell anybody. Why didn't she tell anyone? Because the first reaction would have been, you're going to Africa? Don't you see they're warning about maybe the worst fire in LA history is coming? That's what she would have heard. But she wanted to go to Ghana really badly. She got really turned on. I've read stories about it. She got really turned on about overseas travel, especially to Africa. That was her favorite part of being a congresswoman in Washington, that she could wrangle all these junket trips to go for, nonsense reasons to go tour this country or that country. She loved being in Africa, which is fine. But she left the Palisades to burn. Now, I that should, in any rational person's mind, unless, you're a union member and you're on the take, right? Bass gave you the fat contract. Okay, you're paid off. But if you're not paid off by Bass, why would you possibly ever vote for her for anything? She was told, according to multiple sources, that the fire models predicted bad things to come. She doesn't tell anybody. She gives emergency managers just a day's notice that she was leaving, but never said, I'm going to Africa. They didn't know. Maybe she's going to San Francisco. That she would be an extremely long way away on the other side of the world. Now, when we come back, we're going to tell you how she and her staff covered up her absence publicly. Listen to this. And if this doesn't fry your brain, I don't know what to tell you. Deborah Mark is off. We've got Brigida D'Agostino live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
President Trump says Iran's response to a U.S. proposal to end the war is unacceptable. ABC's Karen Travers says there's been hope for a temporary deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and allow more talks on a long-term agreement.
And until that happens, it's certainly not clear that there would be a bigger deal to end this overall conflict, which is now in a ceasefire, but a very fragile one at best.
In the meantime, President Trump says he plans to suspend the federal gas tax to help offset higher prices caused by the war. LA City Councilwoman Nithya Raman says she no longer supports cutting police funding. Raman, who is running for mayor, backed the defund the police movement in 2020 after the killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis. She tells CNN the city's growing public safety demands prompted her to change her position.
Our police force has shrunk significantly, and I think we absolutely need to be able to ensure that when someone calls for help in the city, that the city is able to respond in a timely fashion.
Raman says she supports keeping current LAPD staffing levels. Despite the U.S. blocking Iranian ports and Iran blocking the Strait of Hormuz, oil profits are going up. ABC's Chuck Sievertson says a company owned by the Saudi Arabian government is cashing in on higher prices.
Aramco, the world's largest oil company, says its first quarter profit jumped 25% as the Iran war disrupted oil supplies and raised prices. $32.5 billion.
The company says it's rerouting some exports through a pipeline to the Red Sea to avoid the Strait of Hormuz. Education advocates say Governor Newsom is waiting too long to step in and help struggling English learners.
Governor Newsom's controversial budget proposal would change when students are flagged as at risk of falling behind in English proficiency, pushing intervention from 4th and 5th grade to as late as 6th grade. Educators and advocates argue that could delay critical support for thousands of California students. The Assembly Education Subcommittee rejected the proposal and is asking for reconsideration. The Senate is still looking it over. Heather Rooker, KFI News.
We'll check the 5 freeway next.
Memorial Day is a time to honor great service, and at American Vision Windows, great service is what they're known for. This month, you can get 25% off all windows and doors. That is significant savings on a real upgrade. New windows means more comfort, stunning appeal, and utility savings all year long on your air conditioning and heating bills. This is a genuine glow up for your home, inside and out, and your neighbors are going to notice, and your family is going to feel it. They've installed over 1 million windows for California homeowners. They get most jobs done in a day, so there's less disruption, and you get new windows by the evening. Your chance to save 25% on all windows and doors, and that offer ends May 31st. New customers only. Some restrictions apply. Call or see website for details. You call AmericanVisionWindows.com. Well, you go to AmericanVisionWindows.com to see what this deal is about, or you can call them at 888-771-2188. 888-771-2188.
Southland weather from KFI today. Sunny with highs of the 70s to 80s. It's 80 degrees in La Palma and in Orange. We're going to a stall on the 5 in Elysian Park.
This one's on the southbound side, and it's coming up just before the 110 freeway, blocking the left lane. Delays are backing up from just about Colorado. We're also looking at Calabasas with this earlier wreck involving a bunch of cars, and one of the cars that was pulling a trailer, that thing jackknifed as well. The 3 left lanes had been blocked. But traffic, it's pretty messy getting away from Topanga Canyon. So a little slowing on that southbound side as well to take a look at all of the action. We're also heading out to Temescal Canyon, or make that Temescal Valley. This is in Corona, 15 northbound before Temescal Canyon Road. Brush fire, the right lane is off limits and that drive is crawling from Lake Street. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
What if this weekend was different? What if you didn't just live with stress or anxiety? What if you actually did something about it? What if you could change your life in just 2 days? You can. At the Dianetics Seminar, based on Dianetics, the modern science of mental health, you'll learn and apply powerful techniques designed to free yourself from emotional and physical burdens holding you back. It's hands-on, and you'll put the tools to work immediately. In a single weekend, you can relieve stress, reduce anxiety, and take charge of your mental health. Make this the weekend that changes everything. Go to Dianetics.org/seminar. That's Dianetics.org/seminar.
A family office is a team built to handle the 3 biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Call 844-GO-SMILE to learn about the new Lifestyle Smile dental implants from Lasting Smiles.
I feel incredible because I called 1-800-WEST Medical.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob 1-800-345-6789. Call Jacob.
Gold and silver recently soared to record highs, then pulled back, and they're high again. So are metals still a good buy? Well, many Wall Street experts predict higher prices ahead. And why is that? Trillions of dollars in national debt, a declining dollar, and inflation that keeps shrinking our savings. Gold remains a historical hedge for wealth protection. Call Lear Capital for a free gold kit. Call 800-225-8100, 800-225-8100. Lear Capital, 800-225-8100.
KFI. AM 640.
An iHeart radio station.
More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640. Live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. And we're live on YouTube. Yes, you want to watch this thing. It is the John Kobylt Show channel. All right. John Kobylt Show on YouTube. You could subscribe by going to youtube.com/@JohnKobyltShow. youtube.com/@JohnKobyltShow. And then you get notifications that we're going to do this. But we're live the whole 3 hours today. Moist Lines 877-MOIST-86 for Friday, twice, 877-MOIST-86, or the Talkback feature on the iHeart Radio app. See, we give you so many ways to interact and connect with us. All right. Now, this should put the whole Karen Bass issue to rest. I mean, this should be the last shovelful of dirt on her political grave. CBS News correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti has written a book called Torched, How a City Was Left to Burn. I've already ordered it. It's going to be released any day now. But there's an excerpt in the California Post. And the key point from the first segment, last segment, is that Bass had been briefed before her departure about all the terrifying warnings from the National Weather Service, the fire models predicting the severe wind event. And she left LA quietly. She didn't tell anybody she was going to Africa, didn't tell anybody she was going to Ghana. The emergency managers had 1 day's notice that she was out. Kristen Crowley didn't know she was out. And this is what's fascinating. Kristen Crowley calls at 10:48. That's about 20 minutes after the fire was reported in. And I don't know if Crowley realized that when Bass answered the phone, she was in Ghana. Can't really tell from this account. While Bass was out, though, in Ghana, her team, I'll use Vigliotti's words, curated the illusion of presence by posting as if she were still in the city. But she wasn't. She was halfway around the world. Quote, Bass pulled a Ferris Bueller, one City Hall source said. Yeah, where were these sources the week of the fire? She pulled a Ferris Bueller. Bass and Crowley's conversation was brief. A fire had started in the Palisades, burning for nearly 20 minutes. The winds were strong and getting stronger. Structures were threatened. Again, this is about 10:50 in the morning. The Emergency Operations Center was escalating its activation. More resources were needed. Bass's staff would later say that after Crowley's call, the mayor monitored the crisis in real time. Well, Vigliotti writes, maybe they meant much later, because in real time, Bass was preparing for a different appearance. It was nearly 7 p.m. in Ghana. Bass had slipped, and pardon me if this makes you gag. Bass had slipped into the fire engine red Calvin Klein dress she had packed specifically for this evening. It was sleek and striking. Oh, she must have looked so hot. Woohoo! Karen Bass in a sleek, striking Calvin Klein dress. Well, I'm getting breathless here. A ceremonial uniform for a moment she did not intend to miss. Los Angeles, Vigliotti writes, was on life support. Mayor Bass was its legal guardian. But first, she had a party to attend. Bass's brief call with Crowley would be one of her last acts of direct oversight with her city firefighters that day. You believe this? Of course you do. We knew this is what happened. She not only wasn't here, her staff covered up that she wasn't here. And when Crowley got her on the phone from Ghana, she spent the next few hours going to a cocktail party. No input, no questions, no understanding that the Palisades was going to be destroyed. She didn't know there weren't enough firefighters, there weren't enough fire engines, there wasn't enough water, that the reservoir was completely empty. She didn't know the firefighters had abandoned the original New Year's Eve fire. She didn't know any of that, didn't care. She's getting to wear a red Calvin Klein dress and go drink to celebrate the president of Ghana getting inaugurated. How many of you could find Ghana on a map? How many of you care? Bass's brief call with Crowley would be one of her last acts of direct oversight. As messages came in asking for guidance or offering help, the mayor chose to attend a cocktail reception where she would be unreachable for more than an hour. Unreachable. Again, her choice. By this time, she was told of the fire. So she knew about the fire warnings. She knew about the fire, and she still put on the sleek, stunning red dress and slinked on over to drink with the president of Ghana. Vigliotti writes, as the room buzzed with small talk, 7,000 miles away, Los Angeles burned. We cut to the next day, just after 12 noon on January 8th, a little more than 24 hours after the first spark. fire is continuing to burn. And according to Vigliotti, Bass and Newsom stepped into the flaring crucible, photographers in tow. Bass and Newsom both look rattled and out of place as a ghost town, in a ghost town that's still burning. Rarely had a governor or a mayor descended into an active wildfire as if the flames were already cold. It was like walking into a hurricane's eye or a crime scene while investigators were still dusting for prints. But their presence signaled the political heat rising around them, fanned by President-elect Donald Trump. Goes into some of the things Trump says. And Bass faced mounting criticism as the city's commander-in-chief during a disaster. She was its conductor, responsible for keeping every emergency agency in sync. But she'd been away more than 7,000 miles away during the fire's explosive growth. Many officials hadn't known she left the country. They didn't know that she had quietly named the council president, Marquise Harris Dawson, as acting mayor. Does anybody remember seeing Marquise Harris Dawson anywhere involved in the fire response? Any appearance? Said anything publicly? Explained anything? No. Of course, her real deputy mayor, Brian K. Williams is his name. Her real deputy mayor, whose oversight was over the fire and police department, he was in custody because he'd called in a bomb threat. So he couldn't work, and he hadn't been replaced. So no mayor, no deputy mayor in charge of the fire department. And according to several city officials, immediately Newsom and Bass began talking about recovery. Even though, while everything would continue to burn for quite some time, they were trying to turn the page. They were trying to change the optics. And they just started talking about recovery. They still had no water. And this is me talking. They still had no firefighters. They still had no fire trucks. The reservoir was empty. You go read the excerpt because it goes on from there. Jonathan Vigliotti, Mayor Karen Bass pulled a Ferris Bueller sneaking out ahead of the LA fires. It's his book. And again, you read this, you just read this excerpt. And then, let me know. What's the rationale for giving her another 4 years? Maybe she could burn Encino down. Who knows? Maybe she could take out Encino and Tarzana and then wipe out Brentwood and Bel Air. More coming up. Deborah Mark is out, and we have Brigida D'Agostino live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here's the latest. A California resident exposed to hantavirus on a Dutch cruise ship is now back home and being monitored by health officials. Arcadia Mayor Eileen Wang resigns after federal prosecutors accuse her of secretly acting as an agent for China. And Governor Newsom says California's gas tax is staying put despite rising prices at the pump. We'll check the 134 freeway next.
If you're looking to sell your home, you call Seller's Advantage. They'll make you a cash offer, no need for repairs. The closing days, they buy with cash. They might offer a $10,000 advance to help you move. Go read the reviews online. Call for a no-obligation offer. 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-2747. SellersAdvantage.com.
Seller's Advantage will buy your home, make it easy so that you don't have to worry. Sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
DRE number 01961658. Providence Realty DRE number 01915212.
Let's go to a crash on the 134 in Griffith Park.
Let's take a look at this one as looks like they're starting to get things cleared out of lanes on the eastbound side of the 134 before the 5. Should be off to the shoulder by now, but delays are still pushing back from about Forest Lawn Drive. Also, let's look at the 5 right around the corner there. That drive on the 5 southbound kind of crowded out of Burbank, leaving Alameda. Delays in stretches all the way to the 605 freeway. Still tough in Calabasas. A wreck on the 101 northbound. This is coming up before Lost Hills. The 3 left lanes have been blocked and delays are pushing back all the way from Topanga Canyon. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
Check out AMCO's multiple financing options, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow.
AA MCO.
Call 1-800-GO-AMCO today.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by iHeartAdvertising.com.
The Lakers will try to force a Game 5 of the Western Conference semifinals today when they host the Thunder. LA is down 0-3 to the defending champs. Dodgers shortstop Mookie Betts will return to the lineup tonight against the Giants after missing more than a month with an oblique strain. NBC leaked part of the NFL schedule today, announcing the Cowboys will visit the Giants to open Sunday Night Football. I'm Frank Garrity.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again, because people are listening to radio more today than they did 20 years ago. And only iHeartRadio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, even social. Learn how radio can help your business. Call 844-844-iHeart.
This report is sponsored by MGM Resorts in Las Vegas. Make this summer one to remember at MGM Grand Las Vegas. Lounge by the pool, catch world-class entertainment, indulge in unforgettable dining, and experience the energy only MGM can deliver. Plan your Vegas escape today at MGMRewards.com.
Too many tasks to manage, too little time to grow your business. Sound familiar? ServiceTitan offers commercial contractors AI-powered tools and automations to seamlessly connect their workflow, start to finish. ServiceTitan, AI for the trades. Learn more at ServiceTitan.com.
Ronald Reagan was president when Habas Law was born. A lot has changed in the past 40 years, but the ideas and philosophies that hold Habas Law together have not changed at all.
Our core beliefs have only grown stronger.
We believe in doing the right thing.
Because it's the right thing to do.
My father taught me that. I'm Omar Habas.
His father was my grandfather. I'm Nicholas Habas.
My father owned a small group of neighborhood markets.
Little grocery stores.
And he knew all his customers.
And his customers knew him.
When a family was down on their luck,
he would always let them take whatever groceries they needed until they were back on their feet.
My father always did the right thing.
Because it was the right thing to do.
We are his descendants.
And we do it too.
When you've been injured
and you're having a bad day,
call 1-800-INJURED.
And your bad day will go away.
Call Habas Law.
Your day is about to get a whole lot better.
What my father did for others,
we're going to do for you.
HAVVASlaw.com.
Omar Habas and Nicholas Habas are California licensed attorneys with an office in Los Angeles. Past results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Voters are listening to the radio. Tons of them. If you're running for office, radio is where people are actually tuned in, not swiping past ads. Connect with communities everywhere and get on the air in just 48 hours. Visit winwithiheart.com. That's winwithiheart.com.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft, but that's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If they find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes in your financial accounts, they'll alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that can make all the difference. Save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK, lifelock.com, 800-LIFELOCK, 1-800-LIFELOCK, or lifelock.com. Use the promo code BECK at lifelock.com.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
After an accident, one question comes to mind. What happens next? Wilshire Law Firm brings clarity when things feel uncertain. While you focus on healing, we fight for the compensation you deserve. That's what happens next. Call now. 1-800 A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Wilshire Law Firm is in LA.
Gold and silver recently hit record highs, then pulled back. So are metals still a good buy? Many experts say yes. Gold remains a long-standing hedge for wealth protection. Call Lear Capital at 800-225-8100 for a free gold kit, 800-225-8100.
Seeing termite dropping 7 months later means they're still active. Call Pacific Coast Termite for a free inspection. With Orange Oil and Ultraset, there's no tinting, no moving out, and no toxic gas. Plus, get 10% off and a free 2-year warranty. Call 800-PACIFIC. Some restrictions apply.
Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-million. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorney.
Sweet James Accident Attorneys. Office in Los Angeles, California, and sweetjames.com.
That red talkback mic on the free iHeart app, it's more powerful than it looks. One tap can get you in the conversation.
You guys, are you serious?
Enter to win something amazing.
That $1,000
or just a request. Try it now. Just open the free iHeart Radio app.
KFI, AM 640. More stimulating talk.
On the next Bill Handel Show, 25% of Americans believe the assassination attempts on President Trump's were fake. But then the moon landing was on a soundstage, and we're going to fall off the edge of the world. And they'll deal with that tomorrow morning after 8 o'clock on the next Handel Show.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. You can follow us on social media at John Kobylt Radio. And we are live on YouTube. Live on YouTube right now. We're going to do the whole show. And after the show, it'll remain on YouTube recorded, and you could see it anytime you wish. All right. Coming up after 5 o'clock, we're going to have Katy Grimes on from California Globe, and we're going to talk about the great diaper scandal. Yes, Gavin Newsom is involved in a diaper scandal, but it involves tens of millions of your tax dollars. That's after 5 o'clock. After 4 o'clock, in a few minutes, we're going to play you a real clip of Nithya Raman completely rejecting her defund the police philosophy. I can't tell you how damaging the debate was for Bass and Raman. I have not seen any polls, but I'm looking at their actions, and Raman is a dyed-in-the-wool police hater. She's a member of the Democratic Socialists of America. That's her party. Not a Democrat. Democratic Socialists of America. And the DSA wants the police abolished. They want them not just defunded. They don't want them anymore at all. Hang on, I'm getting some feedback here that I'm trying to get rid of. Hold on. There we go. Bye-bye. So it was so devastating to Raman. She goes on TV. You probably wouldn't believe it. I got to play you the clip. Play the clip. This was on CNN.
No longer believe in defunding the police.
No.
And what caused you to change your mind?
You know, I think we need to be able to ensure that the city can respond to calls for service, and we have to make sure that we are able to respond to calls for help around public safety issues. And I think in order to do that at this moment with our response system, we need to be able to maintain the size of our police force.
And you mentioned the police union. There are other unions, of course, that are very powerful there in Los Angeles. They are supporting Mayor Bass. Do you think you can win without their support?
I think that right now here in Los Angeles, there is profound dissatisfaction with the status quo.
That's a non-answer. That's gibberish. Let's go back to her first answer. Play that very beginning again. I want to hear it. I want to enjoy it.
So you no longer believe in defunding the police?
No.
Okay, stop right there. No. No more defunding the police. I have to reiterate, she's for abolishing the police, not just defunding the police, abolishing them. Go look up the Democratic Socialists of America. They're hardcore. They want to destroy our country, our way of life, the civilized way of life we have. It is not a coincidence that the worst districts for drug addicts, mental patients, vagrants, living in the streets, crime, are all in districts run by DSA members. And I'm talking about Hugo Soto Martinez and Eunices Hernandez, Isabel Jurado, and Nithya Raman is the same thing. She's the fourth member of the DSA with a city council seat. And they put her in charge of the homeless committee, which is one of the big reasons, in addition to Karen Bass's ineptitude, that we have so much freaking homeless, because they do not wish to put them away. They want to ruin our way of life, and their cover story is all these people have the right to do whatever they want, wherever they want. So they want to take drugs, and they want to scream in the middle of the night in front of your house and take a crap and leave their needles behind. They can. She's a member of that group. When you're endorsed by the DSA, you agree that they will co-govern with you. You will co-govern with them. Co-govern. I never even heard that term. I never knew of candidates who like signed a promise. Oh yeah, I'm co-governing. So whatever wacky thing the DSA comes up with, abolish the police, abolish ICE, defund this, defund that. She's dangerous. She's bad news. The only thing she's got going for her are her looks. Nothing else. But from what I understand, there's a lot of women who support her, which is going to lead me to the next segment. I touched on this a bit on Friday, and then Miranda Devine from the California Post wrote a column on it, coincidentally, exploring it further. We have large numbers of women voting for candidates who make the world unsafe for themselves and their children. Why is this? Nobody seems to know. We'll talk about it when we come back. And Deborah Mark is off. Brigida D'Agostino live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.
Watchful return. I'm Brigida D'Agostino, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. A California resident exposed to the hantavirus on a Dutch cruise ship is back home and being monitored by Santa Clara County health officials. Former CDC official and infectious disease expert at the University of Minnesota, Dr. Michael Osterholm, says the good news is this is not another coronavirus or influenza virus.
This is one that has very limited ability to be transmitted person to person. In fact, it's a rare exception.
The cruise ship traveled to some of the most remote islands in the world. President Trump says the Iran ceasefire is on life support after rejecting Tehran's latest proposal as unacceptable. Governor Newsom says he will not pause California's gas tax despite growing calls for relief at the pump. Critics say state taxes, environmental rules, and refinery shutdowns are helping drive prices higher. But Newsom claims California's baseline costs haven't changed.
As it relates to the war in Iran, period, full stop. And what they're trying to do is tell you and everybody else every single day, all these high-paid lobbyists and the folks that are paid by them are telling you somehow it's someone else's fault. It's Donald Trump's fault.
California's average price is now over $6 per gallon, while the national average is about $4.54. Arcadia Mayor Eileen Wang has resigned after federal prosecutors accused her of secretly acting as an agent for China. Wang has agreed to plead guilty to a felony charge. Prosecutors say she, along with her then fiance, helped post pro-China propaganda online between 2020 and 2022 before she joined the Arcadia City Council. The city says its review found no city money, staff, or decision-making was involved. Wang faces up to 10 years behind bars for the charge. California's jungle primary could be going away.
Political consultant Steve Maviglio has filed an application with state officials to change California's voting system and go back to a traditional primary. California switched to a jungle primary in 2012. Under current election law, the top two candidates move on to the runoff, regardless of which party they represent. Republican Party Chairman Ron Nearing posted on X he's all for making the change. He says voters should have a choice of nominees from every party in November. Polls have shown there's a chance that two Republicans could actually finish first and second in the race for governor because the Democratic vote is being split by a large field of candidates. Amy King, KFI News.
The Secretary of Defense won't leave a current senator, retired Navy captain, and former astronaut alone.
Pete Hegseth says the Defense Department's legal counsel will review comments made by Mark Kelly from Arizona. Kelly sits on the Armed Services Committee and said yesterday it's shocking how much U.S. weapons stockpiles are depleted since the war with Iran began. Hegseth later questioned online if Kelly violated his oath again. A federal judge stopped Hegseth from trying to reduce Kelly's military rank after Kelly urged service members to refuse illegal orders in November. Kelly says his comment about low stockpiles came from Hegseth, who said it publicly at a Senate hearing a week ago. Michael Crozier, KFI News.
A new poll shows younger Americans are feeling less optimistic about finding work. ABC's Mike Dobusky says fewer than half of people between 18 and 34 think it's a good time to get a job in their area.
That's according to a new survey from Gallup, which also found 64% of those over 55 report feeling optimistic about their job prospects.
Outside of the U.S., younger people are more optimistic about job prospects than older adults. We'll check the 101 freeway next.
Lasting Smiles. Here's the deal. We had a ton of listeners calling for the April Spring Smile Special. I talked to the team at Lasting Smiles and convinced them to extend it into May. All right, so we're well into May here. And here's the catch. They're only doing a limited number of cases at these prices. Once those spots are gone, they're gone. If you've been dealing with rotted or decayed teeth, just you have this disgusting mouth, and you've been waiting around for the right deal, well, this is the right deal. At Lasting Smiles, you get decades of experience. They're offering a comprehensive dental exam with full 3D imaging and a custom treatment plan built for you. They're offering payments as low as $149 a month on approved credit. If you can swing $149 a month, you're going to transform your life. Offer is limited. First come, first serve. Don't wait. Mention KFI or John to get this special. Lock it in. LastingSmiles.com or call 844-GO-SMILE. 844-GO-SMILE. 844-GO-SMILE.
Southland weather from KFI today. Sunny with highs in the 70s to 80s. Tonight, clear with lows in the 50s to 60s. It's 80 degrees in La Palma and Orange, 84 in Studio City, 69 in Santa Monica. The KFI financial report, the Dow gained 95, S&P 500 gained 14, and NASDAQ gained 27. We're going to a crash on the 101 in downtown LA.
It was on the northbound side right around Spring, but they've cleared it out of lanes and off of the freeway. To stay northbound on that 101, ahead in Encino before Havenhurst. Another crash. These guys also off to the shoulder, slowing you down from Van Nuys Boulevard. And in Calabasas, North 101 before Lost Hills, a wreck in the 3 left lanes. That remains very heavy getting away from Topanga Canyon. Now, in Costa Mesa, a wreck on the 405 northbound before Fairview. They've cleared this wreck off to the shoulder as well. But overall delays are very heavy out of Irvine, getting away from the 133 freeway. And in South El Monte, the 60 eastbound before Santa Anita Avenue, the right lane's blocked with a backup getting away from Downey Road. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Young Kim backs President Trump 100%.
False. Liberal Young Kim opposed President Trump's immigration policy, voting to protect convicted criminal illegal immigrants from deportation. And Kim voted to force businesses to open transgender bathrooms, allowing men with our daughters. And Kim voted to censure President Trump, but voted against censoring Adam Schiff. Anti-Trump, woke, liberal. That's the real Young Kim. Americans for Security PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising. Paid for by Americans for Security PAC.
Regrow your own natural hair with the same simple one-day treatment that I received from Advanced Hair Restoration. Get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts by calling 844-333-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Therapy Thursday is now a podcast. Listen to me, Ellen Kay, Ryan Mano, and therapist Sarah Dash on the iHeart app or wherever you get your podcasts. Therapy Thursday, the podcast.
KFI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
KFI AM 640. Live everywhere on the iHeart radio app. It's the John Kobylt Show on every day from 3 to 6. After 6 o'clock, you got the podcast for what you missed. John Kobylt Show on demand. And that's where you go. Soon as regular over-the-air broadcast is done, the streaming broadcast is done, you could go pick up the podcast. And you can also today watch us live on YouTube, all 3 hours. So you go to YouTube, and it's the John Kobylt channel. And we're there. And if you want to subscribe, go to youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show, youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show. But right now, we are live on YouTube. I open the show. I have like 3 things at once that I want to talk about. So I'll slow down and put these in an order that makes sense. I open the show with the news that Donald Trump has said publicly, at least to reporters, he's willing to suspend the federal gas tax. Now, that covers all of America, and it's 18.4 cents. So you'd see a slight drop in the gas prices if this goes through. And again, he just announced this. I don't know if this can be an executive order for temporary suspension or they got to run it through Congress, but that's the intent, according to Trump. And Newsom had made it clear that he has no interest in suspending the state gas tax at all. He was very definitive last Friday. Now, he immediately said, well, is Trump going to suspend the federal tax? Well, yeah, Trump wants to. Now, Newsom is responsible for anywhere from $1.50 to $2 a gallon extra because of taxes, fees, and oil and gas industry regulations. And he is adamant that he's not going to give anybody a break, even though we're in the 6s and the rest of the country's in the 4s. After the Iran war is over, we'll be in the 4s. The rest of the country will be in the 2s. We'll still be $2 more than everywhere else. Doug Burgum is the Trump Interior Secretary, and he went on TV. Not sure where he went, what channel he was on. Oh, it was a Breitbart event? Okay. Burgum goes after Newsom over this. Listen to Doug Burgum, the Interior Secretary, and he's a former governor up in North Dakota, and he really knows the oil and gas industry. I mean, because that's a big deal up in North Dakota. A lot of fracking going on there. So he says this about Newsom botching up our oil and gas supply.
And it's not going to California. California's leading in a couple things. They're going to lead in highest energy prices. They're going to lead in the highest taxes, and then they're going to lead in out-migration. Those are 3 things. And I'm not being sarcastic. That's just all true. And of course, the last thing I'll say is at the time of this recent conflict with Iran, California was the only state that was dependent on oil coming through the Strait of Hormuz. 60%, 2 out of 3 barrels of oil comes into California by ship. They've blocked every pipeline. They blocked transmission lines. They've turned themselves proudly into an energy island. And then they're complaining, to this administration about their high energy prices. And even last year, they want to blame the current conflict. Last year, their lowest price in the year was higher than the highest prices in virtually every other state in America. I mean, this was a condition that they created for themselves long before the current conflict, but it's going to get worse for them going forward. And we're doing everything we can to try to help. We've tried to reestablish offshore. They're sitting on massive piles of oil. They were the Kuwait of the Jazz Age. Back in the 20s, they were one of the largest producers of oil in the world, and they've shut down that whole thing. We authorize offshore drilling on federal land. We got that going. They're trying to block the pipelines that are coming in, which would then help them. They used to have 40 refineries. They went down to 8. Now they've got 6. And so Texas, by comparison, has got 36 refineries going to 37.
This is all horrible, horrible news. Horrible policy. Horrible. We have over 40 refineries. We have 6. Texas is going to have their 37th refinery open. What the hell is? And then Texas pays, $2.50 a gallon when we pay $4.50. What are we doing here? And they block over the years any other pipelines coming from any other states. The thing is, if we developed all our oil, we wouldn't need any other pipelines. But they shut down most of the oil operations in Bakersfield and everywhere else. So we can't take oil from other states. We can't take oil from offshore. In fact, our main oil pipeline in California shut down recently because there's no oil in it. Now, the Strait of Hormuz, because it's been shut down, the last ship bringing oil into California docked a few days ago. And they've been draining, I believe it's oil out of that ship. We get oil, we get gasoline. And then we refine a lot of oil into gasoline. But most of our refineries are gone. I mean, what? That would be 37 out of 43 are gone. We've shut down more refineries than Texas has now. We've shut down 37 refineries over the years. Texas has a supply of 36 refineries at the moment, headed for a 37th. So what has Trump done? Trump opened up oil drilling off the coast of Santa Barbara, and Newsom's trying to block that. Trump allowed foreign ships to dock in California to bring oil from the Gulf of Mexico here to the Pacific coast. And now Trump is trying to reduce the federal gas tax, suspend it. Newsom is acting obnoxious, arrogant, defiant, and stupid, and is refusing to drop our gas prices even a penny. How the hell did we end up with 2/3 of our oil coming to California by ship with all our pipelines? Well, our big pipeline is dead. All other pipelines were blocked years ago. Unbelievably overwhelming, idiotic, stupid. I'm out of adjectives to describe it. Nobody has these policies in America. Nobody. And we're sitting on all this oil. We could be, he always talks about what a powerful economy we have. If we were our own nation, we could supply all our energy needs. By the way, our energy needs have not changed at all over the years. We still need the same amount of gas and oil that we always have needed. So they haven't changed. The climate hasn't changed. We've had no effect with all this. You know what, though? They have sucked away tens of billions of dollars, maybe hundreds of billions of dollars over the years with all the excessive taxes, right? That's what they've done. And they've blown it on nonsense, such as the high-speed rail. You know what's supposed to finance the high-speed rail? Gas taxes. And now the high-speed rail is $231 billion. It's all a big grift. It's all a criminal operation. And they hide behind the good intentions of climate change. That is a load of horse crap. Their intention is to steal the money and spend it on all the corruption that they lord over, and they can. Because they have a bulletproof 2/3 majority, and they've got a governor that got elected 3 times. So they're not nervous. They don't sweat anything. It doesn't matter to them. And why don't you take a few minutes tonight, add up the math. If you're paying an extra $2 a gallon, add up how many gallons a week you use. Let's say it's 20 gallons. That's about a full tank in a lot of cars. Times 2, that's $40. Times 50 weeks a year, that's $2,000. Times how many cars do you have in the family? 2, 3? Your spouse drive full time? Does your kid drive full time? Is that an extra $6,000 you're spending on gas because of Gavin Newsom that nobody else in the country is spending? Maybe you have the money. Maybe you can afford it. All right, we come back. I'll tell you how I know for sure that the debate was a disaster for Bass and Raman. All you have to do is watch their actions. And then I'm going to talk about Miranda Devine's column in the New York, California Post about the bizarre ways women are voting to make life more dangerous for them. And I'll give you a concrete, great example coming up. And we've got Brigida D'Agostino live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here's the latest. 17 Americans who were aboard the cruise ship at the center of the hantavirus outbreak are now back in the U.S. Republicans could face trouble in the midterms as gas prices rise due to the Iran war. And a Torrance man accused of trying to assassinate President Trump has pleaded not guilty in federal court. We'll check the 60 freeway next.
GiveMeTheVin.com wants to buy your car, whether it's your daily driver, pickup truck, SUV, minivan, or exotic car. If they do not beat a deal from CarMax or Carvana, they'll pay you $100. GiveMeTheVin.com puts your car right on the money, providing you with a chance. You can go to one of their pickup locations. They'll come to you. It's easy and it's fast. You go to GiveMeTheVin.com and enter your car's VIN or license plate number. GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Let's go to a crash on the 60 in El Monte.
This one is in South El Monte on the 60 eastbound before Santa Anita Avenue, blocking the two left lanes. That drive is loading up, getting away from the 710 freeway. Also out to Monterey Park with a wreck on the 10 East connected to the South 710. It's taking up lanes on that transition and slowing things down away from Eastern Avenue. We're also looking at the drive in Orange County. It's a bit busy right now. 5 northbound in Irvine, getting away from the 133 freeway, continuing heavy all the way towards Harbor in Anaheim. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
Check out AMCO's multiple financing options, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow.
AA MCO.
AMCO, with over 40 centers serving Southern California.
This is Sarah Spain with the latest from iHeart Women's Sports. Presented by Capital One.
Today marks the tip-off of the WNBA's historic 30th season, with 2 new teams joining the league, the Toronto Tempo and the Portland Fire, to bring the total to 15 for the 2026 season. The Las Vegas Aces are the returning champs, led by 4-time WNBA MVP Asia Wilson. 3 games on the slate tonight. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts. As a founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports, Capital One helps you stay connected to top female athletes and earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores with the Capital One Saver Card. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. Visit CapitalOne.com for details.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Ready to upgrade to the perfect sleep setup? Let Mattress Firm's sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. Top brands, ideal comfort, score unbeatable deals on both. Mattress Firm. They make sleep easy.
Wait! Before you change the station, listen to this.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KRS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
This June, the world comes to Los Angeles. Kick off FIFA World Cup 2026 at the FIFA Fan Festival at the iconic Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Watch matches live on giant screens. Feel every goal with thousands of fans. And celebrate with music, culture, and flavors from around the world. Join us June 11th through 14th, opening weekend, as the tournament kicks off in Los Angeles. Tickets are just $10 and kids under 12 are free. Get yours now at LosAngelesFWC26.com.
Love your legs again. Feel incredible. Just call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
How do you turn your backyard or front yard from a normal everyday yard into something spectacular? System pavers will do exactly that. I've used them for paved driveways, synthetic turf, landscape lighting, and System Pavers does it right. No dead grass, no outdated hardscape, no cracked concrete, and they offer complete outdoor living too. Barbecue islands, fire features, water features, you name it. And until May 30th, here is their offer. Free demolition and removal of existing concrete, brick, or asphalt, and instant recycling credit, which is applied to any new project. And I'm on my second go-round with them at my new home. It's a joy having friends and family be jealous of your yard and outdoor living space. System pavers are that good. Call 800-PAVE-004, 800-PAVE-004, systempavers.com/KFI. Website for full offer details, contractor's license 661-575.
Yacht Rock Radio on iHeartRadio drops anchor and goes commercial free every weekend. Weekends were made for smooth sailing. Yacht Rock Radio's got the soundtrack. Just sit back, put your feet up, and enjoy. The smoothest soft rock from the 70s and 80s.
You're the biggest part of me.
Open the free iHeart app, search Yacht Rock, and set sail.
iHeartRadio.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Some of the most beautiful golf courses are right here in the Southland. Just think about how much that land is worth. Why don't they just sell to developers and pocket some cash?
Their sneaky little secret that one politician says needs to stop. Tomorrow, starting at noon, Monks and Merrill, on air and on the iHeartRadio app.
$1,000 giveaway now.
Now is your opportunity to win $1,000. Yes! Just enter the nationwide keyword on our website. Fun. That's fun, F-U-N. Enter it now at KFIAM640.com/cash. Brought to you by Sweet James Accident Attorneys. Office in Los Angeles, California, and sweetjames.com.
Fun. Enter that at KFIAM640.com/cash. And if you win, you get an email. Check your junk and spam folder. There's a winning keyword every hour, every weekday. Starts in the 9 a.m. hour all the way to 5 p.m. And next chance to win here is at 5:20 on KFI. John Kobylt Show continues. 877-MOIST-86 is the Moist line number for Friday. 877-MOIST-86. Call now. Leave a message, and we're going to play them all back Friday in the 5 o'clock hour. And you're live on YouTube. I'm live on YouTube. You could be listening. And the whole show is going to be live on YouTube today. So go to the John Kobylt Show channel. John Kobylt Show channel. Okay. What I want to get to next, all right, in just a minute, I want to play you this report from ABC7, Kevin Ozebek. You know what else is adding to the cost of everything? Massive amounts of cargo theft here in Los Angeles. You got to hear this report. You're not going to believe it. They're even stealing huge quantities of adult toys. You know, vibrating things. And I'll play you the story. You'll see. And everything else, too. Okay. The debate was catastrophic for Karen Bass and Nithya Raman. And the proof of it is they've canceled a mayoral forum that was supposed to run on Fox on Wednesday. And this is a big deal. It was put on by the League of Women Voters and the Pat Brown Institute for Public Affairs. I'm laughing because Mike Bonnet is the new head of that. Of course he is. Most disastrous, destructive, idiotic councilman in any city's history. And of course, he's the director of the Pat Brown Institute for Public Affairs. He can explain how you destroy the West Side by allowing mental patients and drug addicts to defecate all over the city. That's his expertise. Anyway, 5 candidates were invited. And Bass, Raman, and Pratt, Adam Miller, the West Side businessman, and this left-wing nut, Ray Huang. And but Pratt originally declined because he had a scheduling conflict. So he had told them up front, I can't do that night. Bass and Raman were willing to do it. Now, they don't have to face Pratt, but both of them dropped out. What does that tell you? That's how bad it was. They don't want to do, and a forum is not like a debate. A forum, I think everybody answers questions separately. There's not mixing it up in interaction. So Bath and Raman do not want to appear on television anymore in an unscripted setting. What does that say? They don't want to take on Adam Miller and Ray Wong, who are in the single digits. So I think that debate is the only debate you're ever going to see, because he's so annihilated them. What's going to happen in this? Because Bass and Raman are not capable of speaking honestly and clearly and plainly. They don't know how to do it. And I tell you, one thing I've noticed, and this is really common with progressives in California, because the ecosystem is all progressive, they never run against competitive candidates, right? Republicans are so out of it, destroyed really in most areas of the state. They don't have any challenging debates when they're running for office. And then the media is mostly progressive as well. And so they're treated very softly and gently by the media, and they don't have opponents. Now, you can see this when they get in a position where they have to take hostile questions, and they collapse, like Newsom. Newsom cannot handle hostile questions. He gets very irritated and angry. Because they're all spoiled kids. It's like, nobody ever talks to me this way. I've never had anyone speak to me like this before. And it's true, they haven't. They have no immune system, no emotional immune system to handle criticism, to handle somebody saying, wow, this is pretty screwed up. Why'd you do that? They can't take it in primaries. And this is why Kamala Harris was such a flop twice when she ran for president. She was a flop. This is why she was so squirrely. Oh, my God. The way she answers questions, right, with her word salads. What do you think that is? If she'd had competition, she would have learned or been taught that you can't speak like this. You sound like an idiot. Or an opponent would have creamed her. But because the Republicans generally don't put up worthy opponents, maybe this year is going to be different. She never had to face any difficulties along the way. Same thing with Newsom. Newsom got reelected 3 times. Can you even remember who ran against him on the Republican side? Like, quick. Who was the Republican candidate in the last election against Newsom? You can't remember. Okay. We come back. I'm going to play you that Kevin Osbeck report, because this is really something else. LAPD, huge surge in cargo theft. And it's so big, it's actually having an impact on the prices you're paying, in addition to everything else going on. And then I'm going to get to that Miranda Devine story about women and the concept of suicidal empathy, which is a great term. Remember this, suicidal empathy. It's my new favorite term. That's all coming up in this half hour. Deborah Marks off today. We've got Brigida D'Agostino live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
A plane carrying 17 Americans from the hantavirus-stricken cruise ship has arrived back in the U.S. ABC's Lionel Moyes says one passenger in Nebraska has tested positive, while another in Atlanta is showing symptoms.
The CDC has previously said there will be no mandatory quarantine for the people not showing hantavirus symptoms. They'll be allowed to either go home or self-monitor for 42 days or stay at the quarantine center.
Experts say the outbreak is not like the early days of COVID, and hantavirus is not new. The GOP could face challenges in the midterms. ABC's Christiane Cordero says rising gas prices since the start of the Iran war may hurt Republicans' chances with voters.
On average, you're spending usually in the ballpark of $20 or more to fill up your tank today than you were back then.
She says a lot of voters are dissatisfied with how President Trump has handled the economy. A Torrance man accused of trying to assassinate President Trump at the White House Correspondents' Dinner has pleaded not guilty in federal court. Prosecutors say Cole Allen also shot a Secret Service agent. People living around Dodger Stadium say winning the World Series has made their life miserable.
A group of residents in Angelino Heights has begun a petition for permit-only parking in their neighborhood. They say ever since the first of the Dodgers back-to-back World Series wins 18 months ago, they can't park in their own neighborhood because fans pack the streets to avoid the stadium parking. The change would limit street parking to 2 hours from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and would require residential permits after that. 75% of each neighborhood would need to sign the petition for it to move forward. Michael Crozier, KFI News.
A trans athlete from Southern California dominated a CIF track meet again.
The bio male from the Inland Empire took first place in 3 jumping events at the CIF Southern Section Division III prelims in Orange County. In one of the events, the athlete outjumped the competition by several feet. Last year at the track and field finals, CIF awarded the first place medals to the bio male and the second place finisher, a bio female. The U.S. Department of Justice is currently suing California over its transgender athlete rules, saying it's unfair for boys to compete in girls' sports. Jason Campidonia, KFI News.
We'll check the 5 freeway next.
Here's a question. How many brokers does it take to insure your business? And if you're like most business owners, the answer is too many. Multiple policies, multiple applications, no clear view of how it all fits together. And when questions come up, it's not easy to get the clarity you need, and SuperSure changes that. One broker for all your business insurance, backed by a team that works with you year-round, not just at renewal. And if you've ever stared at a policy wondering what it actually covers, SuperSure has a fine print fax tool that translates the legal jargon into plain English, so you know what's covered and what's not. Right now, you can go to supersure.com and get a full report on your current policies with no obligation. Find out if you're overinsured, underinsured, or somewhere in between. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, and all your policies in one place. Go to supersure.com. That's supersure.com.
Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Southland weather from KFI today. Sunny with highs in the 70s to 80s. It's 80 degrees in La Palma, 79 in Orange. We're going to a crash on the 5 in San Fernando.
So this one has been reported along that 5 freeway. Let me just pull that up with the CHP. We've got a lot of issues to cover right now. We've got the 5 northbound coming up on, it's pretty close to San Fernando Mission Boulevard right there. This crash is blocking middle lanes, and it's really going to mess everything up right now. So big delays in this stretch. You can always take the 405 as an alternate, but if anybody's coming into or out of the low desert, there's another major situation, a hazmat situation for the 10 freeway, which is currently closed. And I'm just reading what the Highway Patrol has said as far as the closure is concerned. They are diverting eastbound. They are diverting eastbound traffic off at Highway 86, right at the 1086 split, and westbound is diverted off at Box Canyon. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
In this edition of the Marketers Report, Chris Eppel, head of marketing for the Americas, Harman JBL, weighs in on the importance of audio.
It's been amazing over the last couple of years to see what's happened with audio. We've doubled our investment in the last 2 years in the audio space. We find it to be highly critical to our business.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to the audiences, live conversations, and trusted influencers you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
Silver is no longer just a commodity. It's a strategic resource. Global demand is hitting record highs while supply remains tight. Call Lear Capital at 800-225-8100 for a free silver report. Lear Capital, 800-225-8100.
Imagine a scenario where you or your loved one faces a threat. Your first instinct might be to use lethal force, but it's crucial to consider a less lethal alternative first to avoid the legal complications. Introducing Byrna. Byrna's less lethal launcher. This device is equipped with chemical irritants and kinetic rounds, designed to incapacitate an attacker for up to 40 minutes, providing a critical window for you to escape. Here's a real-life account from a Byrna customer named Adam. While heading to his night shift, Adam encountered a road-raging driver who swerved dangerously, stopped abruptly, and aggressively approached him. Adam dialed 911 and protected himself with his Byrna launcher. He aimed the laser at the aggressor's chest, which immediately de-escalated the situation. The driver returned to his vehicle and awaited the police. That night, Byrna saved 2 lives. Byrna is legal in all 50 states, requires no background checks, and can be conveniently shipped directly to your door. Over 750,000 units sold. Visit Byrna.com. That's BYRNA.com.
Call 844-GO-SMILE to learn about the new Lifestyle Smile dental implants from Lasting Smiles.
Have a termite problem? You must act fast. Call Ecola at 1-800-332-BUGS.
This is Jacob Emrani. When you need help after an accident, I'm here for you.
Accident or injury, call Jacob Emrani. Call Jacob.
Are you tired of being blind? If you've been thinking about LASIK, think Excel Laser Vision. Glasses, contacts, fix it with LASIK. I did almost 20 years ago. Until May 31, mention I sent you and you'll get the most advanced LASIK for as low as $62 a month per eye with no interest financing. Stop looking, start seeing. For a free consultation, dial pound 250 on your cell and say the keyword Excel Eye. Pound 250 on the cell, say Excel Eye, or visit exceli.com.
Commercial contractors, if you're looking to build for the future with the best business management platform, you're looking for ServiceTitan. With over 200 commercial-specific features and 70-plus integrations, commercial contractors using ServiceTitan typically see a 16% higher annual growth in revenue and a 21% higher renewal rate. When you're looking to build your legacy on a strong foundation, look to ServiceTitan. Learn more at servicetitan.com/commercial. That's servicetitan.com/commercial. Results are not guaranteed and may vary.
KFI.
It's fun, but also factual.
The information, the way they give it, the format, it's all really good.
KFI is the most honest. The other stations, they do a lot of political correct nonsense.
You guys rock. It's everyday consistency, current news.
I love KFI because they tell it like it is. They take shots at everyone.
Oh, you like listening to boring stuff? No, listen to KFI 640. I love KFI. I love listening to them.
KFI, AM 640.
More stimulating talk.
KFI, AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Follow us at John Kobylt Radio. Subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/@JohnKobyltShow so you can get notifications, youtube.com/@JohnKobyltShow. And we're live on YouTube right now. If you go to the John Kobylt channel, we have been live since 3 o'clock, and we're going to do the whole show all the way till 6, so you can watch this. All right, next thing I want to do. This is an amazing report from ABC7 reporter Kevin Ozebek. There is so much cargo theft going on because Los Angeles is mostly lawless. The LAPD did get it together to do a big bust, and they're saying one of the reasons the prices are going up and up in the city is because of all the stuff that is stolen. Let's play cut 3.
The target, this used car lot in Bell.
Come out with your hands up.
It's now swarmed by undercover LAPD officers and detectives from other agencies forming a cargo theft task force. Once they break locks and break open doors, this is what they find. Officers say you are looking at stack after stack of stolen loot. Now that police have made their way in and busted down that door, we can see there's a little bit of everything in that room. Everything from acoustic drum parts to power tools. There's boxes of jeans in that room too.
We've seen DeWalt, we've seen Nike, we've seen our stolen product that what brought us here in the first place.
This undercover LAPD detective says a European manufacturer of super expensive adult toys reached out after finding products from a stolen shipment being sold on an online resale site. That business bought some of its own products, and the LAPD says the shipping address it came from was this car lot. Officers here seized not just boxes of the adult toys, but a whole host of other items like shoes, Yeti mugs, and Acer computers.
Unfortunately, we're in the capital of cargo theft, both train and commercial cargo theft out here in Los Angeles.
Last week, the LA County Sheriff's Department also made a big bust in Vernon. Deputies say you are looking at pallets forming a mountain of $4 million worth of stolen cargo. Now, everyone's buying from independent people on the apps where they live stream. Is that fueling some of this?
I think so. Yeah, it's just easier. It makes it easier for the people like this to, sell their items.
It is a legitimate organized crime network that is involved in these types of crimes.
LAPD Deputy Chief Alan Hamilton says foreign crime heads are directing the theft of cargo that comes through LA. After it arrives at the port, it's often stolen from train cars. We met up with him at this tow yard where the LAPD stores cargo it recovers. You could fill a whole department store with the toys, tools, and big ticket items that are in here. Chief Hamilton says last year alone, the LAPD seized $52 million worth of stolen merchandise. In just the first 3 months of this year, it's already recovered $22 million in items heading to the black market.
The regular Joe or Jane on the street are paying the cost for this theft. And when it goes up to hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars nationwide, that is going to be passed on to the consumer, and we're not going to allow that to happen here in the state of Los Angeles.
After hauling away all the boxes at this car lot, the LAPD arrested Peter Ahubib of Beverly Hills for receiving stolen property. Police tell us they're only a quarter of the way, counting everything they found at both the car lot and storage containers connected to this case. And they already tallied $500 grand in stolen goods.
That's Kevin Ozevic, ABC 7. 52 million stolen, mostly from train yards last year. 22 million in the first quarter of this year. So in the last 15 months, that's $74 million worth of stuff. So I'm wondering, why don't the companies spend some money to secure the train yards? This is being stolen from, stationary train containers. I don't get it. Why aren't they paying any money to stop this at the source of the theft? And this concept, which I never heard of before, they live stream and sell stolen goods. Eric, why don't we do this on the live stream?
Wait, what?
They're selling stolen goods on their live stream, the criminal gangs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is what we're in competition with.
Oh.
So I'm thinking, well, why don't we get stolen goods and we could sell it on our live stream?
Oh, that's a good idea.
And make the money off of that.
I'll find the next train.
That's right. Maybe we could put together a network of listeners who want steal stuff, and you can bring it here to the studio, and I'll become a home shopping network host.
Oh, you know what there is in the IT dumping ground area?
What?
They're redoing some of the studios here, and there's a bunch of wires.
Oh, there you go. All right, I'll sell some wires. We'll start off with that. I can't believe how people are making money. The goons are running out and they're stealing massive amounts of cargo. And I guess they flip on their iPhone and now they got a live stream show to sell the stuff and people are buying. And of course, in LA, it all happens. Nobody stopped. Nobody slowed down at all, with the exception of this bust. That's just unbelievable. All right. Coming up, I know I've been promoting a bunch of things. We're going to get to it all. Katy Grimes is going to be up right after the 5 o'clock news. Katy from CaliforniaGlobe.com, because one thing we haven't touched, which is really juicy, is the diaper scandal involving Gavin Newsom. They have a diaper scandal. We're spending tax money to give out free diapers, but the tax money is running through a nonprofit, and the woman who runs the nonprofit is a friend of Jennifer Newsom, and one of the board members is a family member of Newsom. I'm not making this up. So we'll get to that. We'll get to Miranda Devine talking about suicidal empathy on the part of too many young women who make decisions, voting decisions, and personal decisions in their life that makes their life much more dangerous, makes it more likely that they're going to get raped or killed. Now, explain this. It's a whole fascinating concept, and there's actually books being written about this phenomenon because it's so widespread and so bizarre. But suicidal empathy from young women, that is all ahead on the John Kobylt Show with Brigida D'Agostino live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here's the latest. One of the Americans evacuated from the hantavirus-affected cruise ship has now tested positive as health officials urge passengers to quarantine for 6 weeks. The iconic Rose Bowl Stadium is getting a major facelift, and a decision on access to the abortion pill is now on hold. Southland weather from KFI by Pella Windows and Doors. Today, sunny with highs in the 70s to 80s. We're going to a car fire in Sun Valley on the 210.
Things just got a little worse here. The actual car fires on the westbound side of the 210 at Latuna Canyon Road in Sun Valley. And that is where I just checked in with the Highway Patrol, and they said, we're going to shut down the 3 right lanes now, Angel, for at least 45 minutes. So eastbound slowing's backing up already at last check for about a mile, maybe mile and a half, but that's going to become worse now that they've shut down the 3 right. Westbound is slowing down as well. Overall delays getting away from the 2. If you see it, pound 250, keyword KFI traffic. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Nick and Ari founded RefundYourLemon.com with one mission, helping drivers fight back when manufacturers refuse to fix defective vehicles. Their firm focuses exclusively on lemon law cases, helping consumers get refunds, replacement vehicles, or cash compensation. They've won cases in court and recovered major results for drivers across California. Most clients pay nothing out of pocket. If your car keeps going back to the dealership, learn your rights today. Visit RefundYourLemon.com. It takes just 2 minutes. That's RefundYourLemon.com.
I trust Pella Windows and Doors with my home when it matters most. They are the local experts who know our area best. For a limited time, get up to 25% off windows and doors. Visit Pella.com/radio to learn more. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
This report is sponsored by Big O Tires. Now at Big O Tires, save up to $170 on select sets of tires with paid installation using your Big O Tires and service credit card. Plus, synthetic oil changes start at just $39.99 through May 24th at Big O Tires.
Are you avoiding shorts or dresses because of your varicose veins? You find yourself covering up, feeling self-conscious about how your legs look? Don't wait another minute. West Medical can treat varicose veins in under an hour with no downtime. That's right. One simple call and a quick procedure can help you feel confident again. Most treatments are affordable and covered by PPO insurance. Love your legs again. Feel incredible. Call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL today. That's 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL or go to westmedical.com.
I feel incredible because I called 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
Hi, this is Dave Roberts. Heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, that's a risk. That's why everyone needs a medical emergency kit at urgentcarekit.com/blue.
Congressional districts change. Lines get redrawn, but some things you can still count on, like AM and FM radio. The most reliable ways to reach people where they live with voices they trust across towns, cities, and congressional districts. At iHeart, we connect with more Americans than anyone in audio. Ready to take your message to your current and future voters? Partner with iHeart, and we'll combine radio with our podcasting and digital assets and get working for you. Start today. Call 844-844-iHeart or visit winwithiheart.com.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident? Don't wait. Call Sweet James for a free case review at 800-9-MILLION or visit sweetjames.com. Offices throughout California, including Los Angeles. No guarantee of results. Past outcomes do not predict future outcomes.
Silver is no longer just a commodity. It's a strategic resource. Demand is up, supply is tight. Experts expect prices to soar. Call Lear Capital at 800-225-8100 for your free silver report. Lear Capital, 800-225-8100.
If you've seen termites, wings, or droppings, it's time to call Pacific Coast Termite for a free written inspection. And with Pacific Coast Termite, they use orange oil and Ultraset for treatment. There's no tenting, no move out, and no pumping your home with poisonous gas. You, the kids, and pets can even stay home while they work. Call now for a 10% discount on termite services and a free 2-year warranty. Plus, get 90-day same-as-cash financing on approved credit. Call 800-PACIFIC. Some restrictions apply.
Gary and Shannon.
I'm surprised that people want to get rid of the gas tax. What are we going to do about the roads?
How the F does Kansas fix their roads? They don't have the gas tax. Oh, they just use the tax dollars that we already give them.
Tomorrow, 9 to noon on KFI AM 640.
The fact that people take that argument and they put a spoon in it and they effing eat it.
More stimulating talk.
No, it doesn't make any sense, Gary. And I may say a bad word.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Coming up on the next Gary and Shannon show.
The guy who allegedly threw his wife off the boat in the Bahamas is now leaving a free man. We'll tell you the very latest.
Gary and Shannon show starts tomorrow morning at 9.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We're on from 3 to 6 every day after 6 o'clock. John Kobylt Show on demand. That's the podcast. We've got Katy Grimes coming on right after 5 o'clock to talk about Gavin Newsom spending millions of dollars to hand out free diapers, except the woman who runs the nonprofit is a close friend of Jennifer Newsom, and a board member is a Newsom family member. What do you think's going on here? More of the same. That's what's going on. All right, so we'll do that right after 5 o'clock, California Globe and Katy Grimes. Now, are we going to do these? I'm going to respond to some of the comments. We're live on YouTube. We have been since 3 o'clock, and we're going to take this all the way to 6. The very first show, entirely broadcast live on YouTube. And you go to the John Kobylt channel. So now we're just experimenting with stuff, so bear with me. Let's see. Uncle Ken, 926, sent this comment. Love the show, John. Keep it coming. Would that be Ken Shampoo?
That's a good question.
He's got nothing to do. I know he's got nothing to do. All right. Well, put up a second one. We just want to see if the system works. I know this is not that riveting, but let's see. Daniel Sharaf, 969, California native listening from Thailand. Uh-oh. Why are you in Thailand? All right. All right. Thank you very much from Thailand. Here is Garaseg. While Bass and Ramen live in $1 million home in wealthy and safe neighborhoods, they want you to live right next to homeless encampments. Yeah, that's one of the thrusts of Spencer Pratt's campaign. And it's actually the problem with all this progressive nonsense. The progressives are largely funded by wealthy people, wealthy white women who live in protected neighborhoods, gated neighborhoods. They're up on hilltops, and they don't have to deal with the causes that they finance that turn the city into a disaster for all the unwashed, filthy people down below. And I'm not talking about the homeless. They think middle class, working class, and poor people are unwashed and filthy. And that you shouldn't complain about all the disgusting homeless and the drug addicts and the mental patients. Yeah, and most of them are wealthy women. Suicidal empathy. Uncle Ken wrote back, not Shampoo, but I remember him. Yeah, I think we all have a vague memory of Ken. Okay. What was I talking about? Here's the next clip from, or the next comment from Rondell956. So if Bass and Ramen split the awful vote, Pratt has a real shot at the runoff. And you're saying, what's the awful vote? Now, that is affluent, white, female liberals, AWFL. And I think Greg Gutfeld on Fox News coined that term. Awfuls. Affluent, white, female liberals. And they vote for the likes of Bass and Ramen. In fact, all the incompetent politicians, by far the strongest support they get are from awfuls and young female voters, which gets to the suicidal empathy segment that I've been promoting for an hour. And I swear to God, I'm going to get to this. I'm going to get to this even if I have to keep going past 6. All right, let's say one more. Want to do one more? Well, you got to send it to me or I can't. Okay, this is because we were talking about Karen Bass going to Ghana and not telling the fire chief beforehand. And, that's where you got to listen to the 3 o'clock hour podcast, because that's when we talked about the book from the CBS correspondent. Multiple sources say that Bass knew bad winds, extreme fire danger coming. She went to Ghana anyway and didn't tell anybody. So go back one there. All right. So Stan Garcia 411 says she had to go to Ghana by order of Biden. Got to obey what the master says. Well, Biden invited her to go to Ghana. She could have canceled out. I mean, seriously, it's the president of Ghana getting inaugurated. Who gives a flying? There's another one. Sedan for life. Corruption, fraud, scams run in the Newsom family. Now, that family is up to their eyeballs in dirty stuff. Thank you all for participating. It's just a run through here. Okay. Let me start to talk about a little of this suicidal empathy just for a minute here. So, because the first story in Miranda Devine's column in the California Post is about a young liberal woman. She would not cooperate with prosecutors. A violent repeat criminal named Ramel Burke had attacked her on a subway 5 weeks before he pushed a retired New York City teacher to his death. And now that young liberal 23-year-old woman has regrets. And this is her quote. Maybe a part of me was like, I don't want to put another black man in jail. So she wouldn't cooperate with prosecutors after Ramel Burke attacked her. He gets to walk free. And then he murders a retired teacher, pushing her to her death on the subway tracks. And this is what's known as suicidal empathy. And there are books being written, there are psychologists offering theories on this, and it afflicts mostly women, especially young women. And it also affects white, affluent, wealthy women. Tell you all about it coming up. And we've got in for Deborah Mark. We have Brigida D'Agostino live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.
Quarantine clock. I'm Brigida D'Agostino live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. U.S. health officials say one of the Americans evacuated from the hantavirus-affected cruise ship has tested positive but is not showing symptoms. Meanwhile, another American is showing mild symptoms. World Health Organization Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus advises all passengers to quarantine for the next 42 days.
Of course, countries, we advise them, but at the end of the day, we don't impose.
Most passengers have been taken to a quarantine facility at the University of Nebraska Medical Center. 2 others are in Atlanta. The iconic Rose Bowl Stadium is getting a major facelift.
The Rose Bowl is trying to modernize while preserving its historic character. Stadium officials are replacing 5,000 underused bench seats with a new $30 million luxury field-level club featuring more than 1,000 VIP seats, upscale dining, and a 360-degree bar. The renovation is expected to be finished in time for UCLA's home opener in September. Bruins football appears set to stay at the Rose Bowl Stadium despite a legal battle over its contract. After Pasadena sued to keep UCLA there through 2044, the LA Times reports both sides now appear to be moving towards a settlement. Heather Brooker, KFI News.
Amazon has agreed to stop selling certain high-speed e-bikes in California.
Orange County DA Todd Spitzer says e-bikes and motorcycles that go faster than 40 miles per hour have been taken down from Amazon's site. A consumer alert was issued by California Attorney General Rob Bonta last month, warning about illegal electric bikes and motorcycles being marketed to consumers. The limit is 28 miles per hour for pedal-assisted e-bikes and 20 miles per hour for throttle-assisted e-bikes. DA Spitzer has charged at least 3 parents with allowing their kids to ride e-motorcycles illegally, calling the vehicles loaded weapons. Amy King, KFI News.
The DA in San Luis Obispo County is fighting the parole board's decision to release a convicted murderer and rapist who served more than 50 years in prison.
Alberto Tamez Jr. was convicted of a brutal rape and murder of a woman in San Luis Obispo County in 1974. He was granted parole late last year, but County DA Dan Dow is fighting to keep him in prison. During the trial, Dow says Tamez Jr. admitted to dragging the woman from a bar and then beat her to death as he raped her. Dow says he reached out to Governor Gavin Newsom's office to help block the parole board's decision, but Newsom's office is taking no action. Jason Campidonia, KFI News.
A decision on access to the widely used abortion pill mifepristone is on hold. ABC's Devin Dwyer says Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito has extended a temporary pause until Thursday.
All of this suggests to me that the court is either still trying to figure out what to do in this case, whether to keep it on block and perhaps get into the merits sometime later this year, or whether one or more of the justices is writing something, either for and against what the court has done, and just needs a little bit more time.
Mifepristone has become more widely used since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade and many states restricted abortion access. Forensics experts in Laredo, Texas, are working to identify 6 people whose bodies were found inside a rail car. Police spokesperson Joe Beza says the temperature was well into the 90s when a Union Pacific employee doing a routine check of freight cars made the discovery yesterday.
LPD arrived at the scene very quickly along with the Laredo Fire Department, and they unfortunately did confirm the fact that there were 6 decedents inside of the boxcar.
He says the bodies of 5 men and 1 woman were found. We are going to check the freeways next.
Lasting Smiles, their dental implants. We had a huge response to their April Smile special. So I talked to them and I said, extend this. And they did. They extended it into May. But they only are offering a limited number of spots at these prices. If you've been dealing with ugly, disgusting, missing teeth and you're waiting for the right deal, this is it. You'll get a free comprehensive dental exam, 3D imaging, a custom treatment plan, and payments as low as $149 a month on approved credit. This is a limited offer. It's first come, first serve. So get off your big round one there and call Lasting Smiles and lock in your spot. Mention KFI or John and get this incredible deal. Call 844-GO-SMILE, 844-GO-SMILE, lastingsmiles.com, 844-GO-SMILE.
Southland weather from KFI tonight. Clear with lows in the 50s to 60s. It's 80 degrees in La Palma, 79 in Orange, 83 in Studio City, 69 in Santa Monica. The KFI financial report, the Dow gained 95, S&P 500 gained 14, and NASDAQ gained 27.
Gardeners, yard care enthusiasts, hobby horticulturalists. The yard care industry hid a horrible secret from us. They sold us toxic chemicals and called it green. It's time for Sunday. Just soybean proteins, iron, seaweed, molasses. Real ingredients that make your soil thrive. Sunday blends clean ingredients with real science for a yard that's thicker, greener, and healthier. Get your custom Sunday yard plan for spring at getsunday.com.
Termites are one of those things we tend to put off. E. coli is here to protect your most expensive investment, your home, your family, and the environment. You might have heard of Sue Freeze, the termite lady. She's the owner of E. coli Termite and Pest Control. Now, they've been protecting Southern California homes for more than 40 years. So if you have a termite problem, that's who you want in your corner. E. coli offers eco-friendly treatments that are tough on termites, but gentle on kids, pets, and anyone who's sensitive to chemicals. And if you're not planning on selling your house, they'll come out and inspect your home for free. And with all the heat we've had over this last month here in Southern California, it's perfect breeding grounds for termites. E. coli has been recognized as one of the top pest control companies in North America by Pest Control Technology magazine. So if you suspect a termite problem, you must act fast. So call E. coli at 1-800-332-BUGS. 1-800-332-2847. 1-800-332-BUGS.
GimmeTheVin.com has made it fast. We've made it easy, and we're the only 5-star BBB rated car bar out there.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Therapy Thursday is now a podcast. Listen to me, Ellen Kay, Ryan Mano, and therapist Sarah Dash on the iHeart app or wherever you get your podcasts. Therapy Thursday, the podcast.
KFI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. It's the John Kobylt Show. And we're on every day from 3 until 6. After 6 o'clock, John Kobylt Show on demand. And today, we're on YouTube all 3 hours. Go to the John Kobylt channel. And subscribe by going to youtube.com/John Kobylt Show, and you'll get notifications. And we're just having some fun with it. We've been testing things out, and we'll be on today right to the end of the show. Now, we're going to get Katy Grimes on here. Katy wrote a story, and you've probably seen it all over the place, but she had an especially entertaining story. Gavin Newsom is offering free diapers, except, it's not free to us. It's $77 million. And it's not like he's packaging the diapers and giving it to the new mothers. It's run through a nonprofit. And the nonprofit has some interesting connections to the Newsoms. Let's get Katy Grimes on to explain all this. Katy, how are you?
Hey, John, doing well. Thank you.
Well, I didn't think we'd have a diaper scandal for Monday, but that's what happened with this news over the weekend. So can you describe what's going on here?
Yeah, it looks like Gavin Newsom's got himself knee deep into a diaper gate. On Friday, he announced the state, meaning taxpayers, would be contributing $20 million a year, or $20 million right now, so that he could take credit for giving free diapers to all of California's new mothers when they go home from the hospital. So that made me do a wait. It's been a while since I had a baby, 37 years, but even back then, I got a box of Pampers when I left the hospital. They still give diapers to moms when they leave the hospital. But what Gavin Newsom wants to do is provide the 400,000 women who have babies in California every year, diapers, 400 diapers at no cost to the family. And so he keeps talking about how this is free. We're giving free diapers to everybody. But what we discovered is that what he's doing is the free diapers are coming from this, I think it's kind of a skeezy nonprofit created in 2011 called Baby to Baby. Two women, one who's a friend of Newsom's wife, created this nonprofit where they manufacture diapers. Like there's some sort of diaper shortage. They're manufacturing these diapers. I understand they're made in Mexico. I included a photo of that in the article. And these free diapers that they provide for women all across the country, they have grown their nonprofit to $77 million a year in revenue. So first and foremost, John, why do they need 20 million more of taxpayer money? Because they're already at like the 87% level of getting government money. So I mean, this is just more rent seeking. This smells to high hell. Some people suggest this is probably, money that's going to be funneled back into his presidential campaign. Other people suspect it's going into the Newsom's pocket. I don't know yet, but we'll see.
So this sounds like a money laundering scam, not a diaper laundering scam.
Yes, it does.
All right. So he's spending $20 million. I'm trying to follow this, and I'm sure they've designed it to be a little complicated. First of all, does this nonprofit get any tax money from Newsom?
Yes, they're at the 87th percentile of. I included all their IRS forms in there, and it says public support percentage.
Okay, so they get a big wad from Newsom. And now they are going to spend some of that money on giving free diapers to every new mother in California.
Mm-hmm.
And Newsom is calling it free diapers. But we already paid this nonprofit millions of dollars.
Yes.
And now in return, they're providing the diapers. So they're not free. It's our tax money.
Yeah. And it has been all along for them to provide free diapers to across the country.
Why $400 for every mother? Every mother? So the new moms in Bel Air are getting free diapers? Why would you do that?
Yeah, and that's what I pointed out. Not every mom needs free diapers. And the other aspect is, it turns out, he claims this $20 million is going to go to this baby-to-baby diapers. Their diapers cost about 50 cents a piece. I went on Walmart and Costco and found diapers that come out to about a little over 5 cents at Costco a piece and about 15 cents at Target. So somebody's in on this grift. Somebody's making money on it, which nonprofits are not supposed to do.
Okay. So just tell me, because all the numbers are in tiny print on my sheet here, how much tax money are they getting from us, this baby-to-baby nonprofit? Do you know?
Oh, I'd have to do math, John. And that's part of what I can't find out. I only know right now they're at the 87%.
Yeah, because I see that, their total revenue is 77 million. So how much of that is our tax money?
It's very hard to figure out. Let me tell you.
Oh boy, that's not a good sign. And Nora Weinstein sits on the board of the California Partners Project, and that is Jennifer Newsom. Now, I saw one story claiming that there's a Newsom family member. Was that a mistake, or?
I don't know. I did not find a Newsom family member, just this girlfriend of hers.
All right. Somebody else was reporting that, or maybe they confused. Okay. But anyway, I don't understand because poor new mothers, there's probably already welfare programs and charity programs to take care of that, right?
Yes, and I found California welfare recipients, besides getting unbelievably generous benefits, they already get a subsidy for diapers, and there are county and local diaper banks that provide free monthly diapers to families on Medi-Cal, CalWorks, and CalFresh.
You write in this that there's about 400,000 babies born in California each year. So if each new baby gets 400 diapers, is this right? That's 160 million diapers we're giving away?
Isn't that outrageous?
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
And why do we need to be manufacturing? These are substandard diapers, from what I'm told. Cheapo substandard diapers when we have big diaper companies.
Okay. So just to review for people tuning in the middle of this, we got Katy Grimes on from California Globe. Newsom has announced that they're going to be giving out free diapers to 400 free diapers to every single new mom in California. There's 400,000 moms a year who give birth, and they're each going to get 400 diapers. So that's 160,000 diapers from a company that we give a significant amount of tax funding to. Like our tax money is already donated, and the woman running it sits on the board of Jennifer Newsom's other nonprofit.
Yep. Well done. You summed it up perfectly.
I needed you on here to guide me, though, because I was trying to read this before, and it's like, the hell? And the thing is, cardinal rule, and you know this, when somebody like Newsom announces something complicated, then there's a scam in there somewhere.
Exactly. And again, this is a completely unnecessary nonprofit to begin with. So this is one of those nonprofits that had I stumbled on this, in 2011 or 2012, I would have probably turned it over to the Attorney General and said, investigate this. What is this?
Plus, these diapers are more expensive than the diapers you can get at Walmart.
Exactly. And Costco and Target.
Oh, this is foul. He actually has a diaper scam going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. It's amazing. And if you looked at the list of the board of directors of this baby to baby, it's one of our readers described it as a coven of Hollywood elite. And the angels who supposedly donate, you're usually called an angel if you donate something to them, it's just like Hollywood people left and right. Why do we need why do we need government money going to this if you've got all this Hollywood money going in there?
Especially when we got plenty. I've not been aware of anybody suffering from a diaper shortage.
Nope, there is not.
Because we have all these with these other programs, and there's also private charity as well. No baby is going without a diaper in the state of California. This is crazy. But you brought up a good parallel. Remember the Chinese mask company that he blew $1 billion on?
Exactly.
At the beginning of COVID.
$1.5 billion on the COVID mask deal, and there's no way we used that many masks. This needs to be investigated. I can only do so much.
Well, you did a great job here. Oh man, this is bad. This smells like a full diaper, doesn't it?
A bad diaper. It sure does.
It does. Katy Grimes, thank you very much. Good work.
Thank you, John.
Katy Grimes, CaliforniaGlobe.com. Holy mackerel. $20 million worth of diapers being handed out to a nonprofit whose co-CEO is on one of Jennifer Newsom's other nonprofits, and they're going to be handing out 160 million diapers. And there's no reason for this, and they're bad diapers. You know, I can jump out a window on camera now with this YouTube thing going.
Oh, we'll definitely go viral then.
Yeah, except these windows don't give. I can't open them. It's too bad. All right, when we come back, I'm finally getting to the Miranda Devine piece about suicidal empathy, about why do women vote for candidates who make the world more dangerous for them. This is the great sociological, psychological question of the hour. Deborah Mark is off. We have Brigida D'Agostino live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here's the latest. President Trump rejects Iran's latest proposal to end the conflict. California health officials are monitoring 4 residents who may have been exposed to hantavirus, and LA mayoral candidate Nithya Raman is reversing course on police funding. We'll check the freeways next.
If you're hurt in a car accident or a motorcycle crash, a trucking collision, or even if it's just a dog bite, what comes after is usually the same. Pain you didn't expect, appointments you didn't plan for, and insurance companies that say they're there to help but are really focused on protecting themselves. And that's why I tell listeners about Sweet James. They help people when injuries are real, stress is high, and the insurance company already has a plan and you don't. If you've been hurt in an accident, don't face it alone. Let the attorneys at Sweet James be by your side and help you recover. Call for a free consultation at 800-9-MILLION, 800-9-MILLION, sweetjames.com. Offices throughout California, including Los Angeles. They can't guarantee or predict the outcome of your case, but it's important to have Sweet James by your side. 800-9-MILLION, 800-9-000-000, sweetjames.com.
Southland weather from KFI brought to you by the San Bernardino County Registrar of Voters. Tonight, clear with lows in the 50s to 60s. Live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Brigida D'Agostino.
The San Bernardino County Registrar of Voters reminds San Bernardino County residents to vote early in the June 2nd California primary election. Learn about ways to vote, your polling place, and more at elections.sbcounty.gov.
This report is sponsored by Pro-Life Across America.
Hi, I'm Angie. Did you know a billboard can save a baby's life? It's true. You can make a difference by helping us spread the pro-life message to reach those who are struggling with an unplanned pregnancy. Please make a gift today. Visit prolifeacrossamerica.org.
You're losing your hair and you need a simple solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology with top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need advanced hair. They've completely redefined hair restoration from the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair. Address all of them with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment in a calm, relaxed environment with the most experienced professionals. Advanced Hair has performed tens of thousands of these breakthrough treatments. And get this, your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day. No one can offer anything like the Advanced FUE found at Advanced Hair. It's where I address my hair loss, and I recommend you do the same. Now, it all starts with a free consultation. Call 844-333-HAIR. If you qualify, you're also going to get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Redefine your hairline with the team that's redefined hair restoration. 844-333-HAIR, 844-333-HAIR, advancedhair.com.
Call Lear Capital for your free gold investment kit. 800-225-8100.
Voters are listening to the radio, and they're really listening. If you're running for office, radio gets your message heard, not scrolled past. Reach communities everywhere and be on the air in just 48 hours. Go to winwithiheart.com. That's winwithiheart.com.
Lose the weight. Feel incredible. Just call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
62 LASIK per eye. No interest. Dial pound 250. Say Excel-I.
Wake up next to us. Wake Up Call with Amy King. Live 5 to 6 a.m. on KFI. And on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
Hello, I'm Robert Smigel. I did lots of things. Cartoons on SNL, Conan stuff, Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, some movies. But now I'm past my peak. So I'm hosting a podcast, Humor Me with Robert Smigel and Friends. Each week, me and my favorite comedians, writers, and whatnots help regular people just like you, presuming you're regular, who have some project or task that they'd like us to help make funnier.
Search Humor Me on iHeartRadio, America's #1 podcast network, and the Webby Podcast Company of the Year.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Hey, it's the Convoy Show. Today after 6 p.m., Prim, Nevada, closing their last casino. There were 3, then 2, then 1, and now none. So today after 6, I'll tell you why that happened.
$1,000 giveaway.
Now is your opportunity to win $1,000. Yeah! Just enter the nationwide keyword on our website, BILLS. That's BILLS, BILLS. Enter it now at KFIAM640.com/cash. Brought to you by Sweet James Accident Attorneys. Office in Los Angeles, California, and sweetjames.com.
Bills. Enter that at KFIAM640.com/cash. If you win, you'll get an email. Check your junk and spam folder. And there's a new winning keyword every hour, every weekday, starting at the 9 a.m. hour all the way to the 5 p.m. hour. And so we'll do it again tomorrow, 9 a.m. with Gary and Shannon here on KFI. All right. The Miranda Devine column that I've been teasing about for quite a while here. It starts by telling the story of a young liberal woman who would not cooperate with prosecutors. It was a violent repeat criminal named Ramel Burke pushed this young woman, 23 years old, on the subway 5 weeks ago. 5 weeks before, he pushed a retired teacher to her death. Okay, so you got this? There's this one young woman, she's 23. She gets attacked by Ramel Burke. She refused to cooperate, this young woman, saying, well, maybe a part of me was like I don't want to put another black man in jail. Well, if he was in jail, then Ross Falzone would still be alive. Ross Falzone was entering the Chelsea subway station Thursday afternoon when Burke, who is out free, randomly shoved him down a flight of stairs. He died hours later at the hospital, catastrophic brain injury. All because this young 23-year-old said, well, I don't want to put another black man in jail. Miranda Devine described it as, yes, she describes it as the woman's irrational attitude to public safety, a textbook example of suicidal empathy. This is a newly discovered condition described by an evolutionary psychologist, Gad Saad. Listen to this, in which compassion becomes so excessive that people or societies make decisions that undermine their own survival. And I've been talking about this, for like 10 or 15 years. Why are people making political decisions with their votes and their support of policies that make the world more unsafe for them too? And so it's called suicidal empathy. It now has a name. They're not writing books on this. It's an excess of empathy that overrides the evolutionary desire to survive. And in Los Angeles, we're living with thousands of people afflicted with this. It's all coming together now. And Miranda Devine says, this describes the harassment campaign years long by a sizable chunk of the public against law enforcement around the country, even as the chaos and disorder grow. So the predators get bolder, the body count grows. Apparently the women are overrepresented in the ranks of angry, police and anti-ICE agitators. They are among the most vulnerable targets of violent predators, yet they insist on protecting them at the expense of their female victims, themselves, really. Jonathan Alpert is a psychotherapist. He's written a book called Therapy Nation about the modern culture's psychological unraveling. He's going to publish it next week. Oh, I want to talk to this guy. These women are so concerned about how they're going to be perceived by the public to the point where they refuse to do the right thing. ICE agents, many of whom are Hispanic, that's not usually reported on, but it's a lot of Hispanic ICE agents deporting Hispanic illegal aliens. The ICE agents' biggest opponents are these feral, shrieking women who've been brainwashed into misdirecting their natural nurturing instincts towards the perpetrator. The psychotherapist Jonathan Alpert, again, he says it's another manifestation of the so-called woke mind virus, ideological conditioning and horrifically terrible judgment that distorts all logic. These women feel like it's their duty to take a stand and not be responsible for stopping illegal migrants coming into the country or sending a black man to prison. But now the guilt that this young woman who wouldn't testify against the guy who killed the teacher, now she's feeling a lot of guilt, and now it outweighs any perception of racism she might have felt. See, she felt it was racist to report the crime against her, so she doesn't cooperate with prosecutors. Ramel Burke gets set free. He goes on and kills another guy on the subway, in the subway station. Now she's feeling the guilt. Now it's overwhelming her fear of racism. Holy moly. Well, at least we're figuring it out, because it got kind of tiresome all these years to say, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? It turns out, and this can only happen in a world that's been overwhelmed and consumed by the internet and social media. There is no chance you would get this many people agreeing to protect this many criminals and these many deviants in the street and all the mental patients and all the drug addicts. There's no way this would have happened in any other time. In fact, that's what we always say, right? 250 years of America, we've never had this. Why do we have this? It's the freaking internet and social media. That's how. And these people, these young women have been convinced. In fact, when I come back, wait till I tell you, women age 18 to 29, what percentage do you think voted for the communist Zoran Mamdani to be the mayor of New York? Think of a number. I'll tell you about that when we come back. In for Deborah Mark, we've got Brigida D'Agostino live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
President Trump is rejecting Iran's response to a White House proposal aimed at ending the conflict. Trump told reporters at the White House that Iran's answer is unacceptable and unbelievably weak.
I would call it the weakest right now. After reading that piece of garbage they sent us, I didn't even finish reading it. They said, I'm not going to waste my time reading it.
The president says the ceasefire is on life support. California health officials now say they're monitoring 4 residents who may have been exposed to hantavirus. 2 are at a secure medical facility in Nebraska after returning from the MV Hondius cruise ship. 2 others are back in California, including 1 ship passenger and 1 person who was near an infected passenger on a plane. The state says neither person in California has symptoms and the risk to the public remains low. LA City Councilwoman Nithya Raman says she no longer supports cutting police funding. Raman, who is running for mayor, backed the defund the police movement in 2020 after the killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis. She tells CNN the city's growing public safety demands prompted her to change her position.
Our police force has shrunk significantly, and I think we absolutely need to be able to ensure that when someone calls for help in the city, that the city is able to respond in a timely fashion.
Raman says she supports keeping current LAPD staffing levels. General Motors will pay nearly $13 million to settle a lawsuit alleging it illegally sold OnStar drivers' data to third-party brokers between 2020 and 2024. LA County DA Nathan Hochman says Californians have a fundamental right to control their personal information, including inside their cars. Southland weather from KFI tonight, clear with lows in the 50s to 60s. It's 75 degrees in La Palma, 74 in Orange. We're going to a stall on the 405 in Sherman Oaks.
It is a busy one indeed. So on the 405 northbound before the 101, there is a stalled vehicle. It's in the left lane, and that is making traffic even slower than it usually is. Going into the mid-city area, there's a crash on the 10 eastbound before La Brea, and traffic is stopped from Cloverfield right now. And in South LA, a disabled vehicle taking up the right lane on the 105 eastbound before Vermont. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Lucy Hill.
Here's a question. How many brokers does it take to insure your business? Well, if you're like most business owners, the answer is too many. Multiple policies, multiple applications, and no clear view on how it all fits together. And when questions come up, it's not easy to get the clarity you need. Super Sure changes all of that. One broker for your business insurance, backed by a team that works with you year-round, not just at renewal. And if you've ever stared at a policy, wondering what it actually covers, Super Sure has a fine print fax tool that translates the legal jargon into plain English. That way, you know what's covered and what's not. Right now, you can go to supersure.com and get a full report on your current policies with no obligation at all. Find out if you're overinsured, underinsured, or somewhere in between. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com.
Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Have you inherited a home and want to avoid the stress and hassle of selling? Call Wedgwood Homes first to discuss your options. Inheriting a home can be overwhelming. Probate paperwork, multiple heirs, property taxes, repairs, and maybe even an existing mortgage. With Wedgwood Homes, there's no need to clean or clear out the house and no repairs or updates. We buy as is and provide a fast, reliable, all-cash offer. No commissions, no hassle. The Wedgwood Homes team can guide you through the process with experts in probate, trusts, and shared inheritance. Wedgwood Homes' offer is firm with no strings and no last-minute price drops like other cash buyers. We can close in as little as 3 days or on your timeline. Avoid competing with new inventory and demanding buyers in the real estate market. Let Wedgwood Homes ease the process so you can help your family move forward. Call 800-307-2010 today for your no-obligation cash offer. That's 800-307-2010. 800-307-2010 or wedgwoodhomes.com. Southern California's trusted home buyer for 40 years.
Hey, it's Dean Sharp. This Memorial Day, American Vision Windows brings expert craftsmanship and big savings to your home. Get 25% off all windows and doors, a real upgrade to your comfort, your curb appeal, and utility savings. They've installed over 1 million windows and get most jobs done in just one day. But hurry, this offer ends May 31st. Visit AmericanVisionWindows.com or call them at 888-686-8249. New customers only. Some restrictions apply. Call or see the website for details. Offer ends May 31st.
Having car problems that won't go away? If your vehicle's been in the shop 2 or more times for the same issue, you may qualify for a refund, replacement, or cash compensation. You pay nothing, the manufacturer covers the fees. Go to refundyourlemon.com. It takes just 2 minutes. That's refundyourlemon.com.
Hi, this is Dave Roberts. Heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, that's a risk. That's why everyone needs a medical emergency kit at urgentcarekit.com/blue.
Wilshire Law Firm. Born in L.A., built in L.A., fighting for L.A. We stand up for the people who make it great. Wilshire Law Firm is in Los Angeles, California.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-506-9295. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-506-9295. That's 800-506-9295. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
KFI, AM 640.
An iHeart radio station. More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. We're on YouTube. We've been on YouTube since 3 o'clock, and we'll be on till 6. And if you missed watching it and you want to later, just go to the John Kobylt channel because it'll be recorded and posted right after 6 o'clock. You can subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/@JohnKobyltShow. And Moist line is 877-MOIST-86, 877-MOIST-86. We use the talkback feature on the iHeart Radio app. All right, so I think we're unraveling the psychological puzzle that I have been really obsessed over, and I imagine you have too in some way. It's like, why did the voting patterns go so haywire? Why are there so many people screaming in the streets for destructive policies, especially here in California? What's going on? Well, a lot of this is powered by the female vote. As I mentioned, Gavin Newsom got 65% of the female vote. Karen Bass got 60%. And a lot of it is young women. Well, a lot of it's young women and also awfuls, AWFL, affluent, white, female liberals. Affluent, white female liberals, AWFL, spells that awful. Greg Gutfeld came up with that. And between the two groups, they are swaying elections, and they have been so radicalized, again, by the internet and social media, that get this statistic. Women 18 to 29. Zohran Mamdani, the mayor, communist, Democratic Socialists of America Party. What percentage of women 18 to 29 voted for him? He's a cop hater, as Miranda Devine writes accurately. He is anti-cop, hates cops. He's written about it on social media. 84% of women 18 to 29 voted for him. Even though, if he ever fully implemented his policies, a lot of these 18 to 29-year-old women would end up getting attacked, raped, or killed. He promotes not having a police department or severely defunding it and restricting it, which they've done to a large extent in L.A. under Bass and Nithya Raman. His idea, Mamdani, is to replace the New York Police Department with social workers. Do you know who else was pushing that idea up until 5 minutes ago? Nithya Raman. Again, she's a member of the Democratic Socialists of America, DSA. It's a communist organization. In fact, they called Raman the West Coast Mamdani when she announced she's running for mayor. They thought she was good-looking like Mamdani and would get a big following. And their proposals are identical. Mamdani believes cops are horrible, hates them. So does Raman. But Eric, dig up that quote from CNN. Looks like over the weekend, after that disastrous debate, and I got to believe there's an internal poll that also triggered this change of heart. Listen to Nithya Raman today.
So you no longer believe in defunding the police?
No.
She's clearly uncomfortable. And she clearly doesn't want to. She's hoping there's going to be no follow-ups. Play the rest of it, though.
So you no longer believe in defunding the police?
No.
And what caused you to change your mind?
You know, I think we need to be able to ensure that the city can respond to calls for service, and we have to make sure that we are able to respond to calls for help around public safety issues. And I think in order to do that at this moment, with our response system, we need to be able to maintain the size of our police force.
And you mentioned the police union. There are other unions, of course, that are very powerful. They're in Los Angeles. They are supporting Mayor Bass. Do you think you can win without their support?
I think that right now here in Los Angeles, there is profound dissatisfaction with the status quo.
And you're the status quo. You're the one that's been pushing for defunding police. You've been the chairman of the homeless committee You have no business running for mayor at all. You are a singularly destructive force, second only to Karen Bass. And you've energized a lot of lunatics, and the psychological research is proving it. What's described in this Miranda Devine story is rampant mental illness, some kind of contagious mental illness. Now, maybe you could stop COVID with a mask. I don't know how you stop this. You got to turn off your freaking iPhone is what you got to do, because that's where they're getting it from. All right, so I was telling you about the woman, unnamed. She'd been attacked by this violent felon, Ramel Burke, on the subway, and decided not to cooperate with prosecutors because I didn't want to put another black man in jail. And then he goes 5 weeks later and kills a retired teacher, pushed a guy down the cement stairs in the subway station, and that poor guy suffered a catastrophic brain injury, and he's dead because he was 76, this 23-year-old woman didn't want to prosecute. Well, I don't want to put another black man in jail, even one that kills people. Okay. Then you have Judge Marva Brown. She's a judge, former. Oh, yeah, she released Burke. She released Ramel Burke. He'd committed a string of 4 arrests for bizarre and violent behavior. Okay? He's the one who killed the teacher. 4 arrests. Judge Marva Brown released him. She's a former Legal Aid Society public defender. She's known for her lenient treatment of violent felons. There's a video that's made the rounds on social media. She goes, well, the personal effect of having an incarcerated family member is very strong with me and the work that I had to do each and every day. Here's a guy who's violently attacking people consistently, over and over again. And Judge Marva Brown thinks it's traumatizing for the families of the perpetrator. What are the family of that poor guy who got pushed down the stairs? How do they think? Ross Falzone. How do you think the Falzone family's feeling today? The biggest offenders in Miranda Devine's column, biggest offenders of this breakdown of moral order are pampered white liberal women, the awfuls. Trump triggers these women into fits of performative rage. You look at the Pussy Hat protests from his first term, anti-ICE protests, the No Kings rallies, which are absurd, have accomplished nothing. Get this, 90% of No Kings participants were white, 60% women, the median age 44. So primarily middle-aged and older white women make up a large majority of the No Kings protesters. And 25% of these No Kingers agreed with the statement that Americans may have to resort to violence to save our country. These are the women of America. There's a podcast host named Anna Kasparian, left wing. She said she quit the Democratic Party because she was so berated by fellow liberals for being heartless and racist. She had said she was afraid to leave her house after being sexually assaulted by a homeless man while she was walking her dog. Support for political murder is 15% higher among women than among men, according to Rutgers University, the Network Contagion Research Institute. That's the word. It's become a contagion. I didn't realize mental illness is contagious. Well, I guess it is. There's always been a term, mass hysteria. I just never saw it before in my life until this. But I guess you do see it, right? You see it at international soccer games. You see it after the Dodgers or the Lakers win a championship. What you see is contagious mental illness take to the streets. Here, contagious mental illness has become a political movement, afflicting primarily women. And we have to live with the consequences of this mental illness that is swept across the city in LA, the state of California, the country. Now, in a lot of states, it never fully took root, but boy, did it take root here. And there, what was frustrating is you can't talk to these people. You can't have a debate with them. That's why I say when it comes to those afflicted who are in power, like Bass and Ramen, you simply have to get rid of them. They're mentally ill and there's no cure for the disease. It's a mental illness. It's a contagion. Same thing when 40% of the college students at Brown University said they were gay, lesbian, or trans, or bi, or whatever other 36 colors of the flag. That was a social contagion. That was a mental illness that was contagious. This is the age of it. And what changed? Social media. That's what changed it. There are a lot of young people whose entire input of what they know about the world comes through their iPhone screen from social media sites. They get nothing else. No conversation from any rational adults. Nothing from television, nothing that they're reading. It is simply TikTok, Instagram, garbage that rots their minds, makes them crazy. And so they're crazy. And now they could actually get sexually assaulted and they don't want to prosecute the guy. And then he goes and he kills somebody. It's like, oh, I feel guilty. Actually, somebody who does that, they ought to be in jail too. All right, got more coming up. We're live on YouTube. One more segment, and then you could watch the whole thing tonight. You can listen to the podcast too. We're becoming ubiquitous. We have Virginia D'Agostino in for Deborah Mark live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here's the latest. The mayor of Arcadia has resigned and agreed to plead guilty to a federal charge of secretly working to promote China's interests. The California Department of Health is monitoring 4 state residents who have been exposed to hantavirus, and law enforcement is investigating possible human smuggling after 6 bodies were found in a boxcar near the U.S.-Mexico border. We'll check the 210 freeway next.
Lasting Smiles Dental Implants. We had a huge response for their April Smile special. So I got them to extend it into May. So here's your chance. They're only offering a limited number of spots at these prices. If you've been dealing with ugly, missing, rotting teeth, you'll look awful. And you've been waiting for the right deal. Well, this is the right deal. Not going to get something better. You'll get a free comprehensive dental exam with 3D imaging, a custom treatment plan, payments as low as $149 a month on approved credit. This is limited. First come, first serve. Call now, lock in your spot. Mention KFI or John. You get an incredible deal. $149 a month. Call 844-GO-SMILE. 844-GO-SMILE. LastingSmiles.com. 844-GO-SMILE.
Southland weather by the San Bernardino County Registrar of Voters. Tonight, clear with lows in the 50s to 60s. We're going to a car fire in Sun Valley on the 210.
This is on the westbound side before Latuna Canyon Road. The 2 right lanes remain off limits, but they're in final cleanup stages. So just checked in with the Highway Patrol and they said, yeah, there's a bunch of dirt and burn debris off to the right shoulder, but they're just trying to get those 2 right lanes open. And now traffic is a mess away from Pennsylvania. On the eastbound side of the 210, coming up at Latuna Canyon Road, there was a stall blocking the 3rd lane from the left. And, at first I thought, wow, everyone's slowing down almost from Osborne Street just to look at this pile of char on the westbound side, but it's a stall. So they're getting this guy out of lanes as well. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
As the experts in transmissions for over 50 years, there's nothing at AMCO we haven't heard.
So when I hit the gas,
it's just a belt. And nothing we can't fix.
It's going. What's that?
From transmissions to brakes and everything in between. No credit? Finance your repair at AMCO.
Exclusions apply, may not be combined with any other offer. Limited time offer at participating centers only.
People who know go to AMCO. AA MCO.
Call 1-800-GO-AMCO today.
The San Bernardino County Registrar of Voters reminds San Bernardino County residents to vote early in the June 2nd California primary election. Learn about ways to vote, your polling place, and more at elections.sbcounty.gov.
This report is sponsored by Think It Up. Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Is it time to downsize? Selling your home doesn't have to be a hassle.
With Seller's Advantage, you can skip the commissions and costly repairs. By the time you pay for repairs, you could have already sold your home for a fair, competitive price without the worry of the deal falling through.
Here's what Chris Chavez, a real Seller's Advantage customer, had to say. Seller's Advantage was definitely the best company I've worked with. They offered me more than I expected, and the whole process was great. They were helpful, always answer the phone, and willing to help. I can't say enough about the experience. Much better than going through a realtor.
Get your free no obligation cash offer today. Call Seller's Advantage at 888-321 as is. 888-321 as is.
That's 888-321-2747 or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
DRE number 0196168. Providence Realty DRE number 019152212.
These days, it's getting harder and harder to trust what you're seeing. Who made it? Is it real? But with iHeart, everything you hear is guaranteed human. That's why 78% of listeners trust their favorite radio host's product recommendations. And if you own or manage a business here or need to drive sales, that trust goes a long way in creating your future customers. Make iHeart Media a part of your 2026 plan today. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Call Lear Capital for your free gold investment kit. 800-225-8100.
Commercial contractors spend whole days dealing with mundane tasks instead of growing their businesses. Until now, ServiceTitan offers AI-powered tools and automations to connect workflows start to finish. ServiceTitan, AI for the trades. Learn more at servicetitan.com.
Love your legs again. Feel incredible. Just call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
Think back. All those times you questioned everything and wondered why you didn't trust yourself. What if those thoughts could be eliminated? Truth is, those thoughts come from a hidden part of your mind. At a Dianetics seminar, you'll learn and apply powerful techniques to address the hidden source of your stress, anxiety, and self-doubt. It's hands-on, and you'll put the tools to work immediately. In just one weekend, you'll discover exactly how the mind works and increase your happiness and restore trust in yourself. A single weekend can change everything. Register today and take charge of your mental health. Go to Dianetics.org/seminar. That's Dianetics.org/seminar.
Skip this. Tap that red talkback mic on the iHeartRadio app while listening to your favorite station.
You guys rock.
Instant feedback. And the best feature, if you mess up,
hopefully I'm sending these messages correctly.
Do it again. Leave a talkback now on the free iHeartRadio app.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
On the next Bill Handel Show, 25% of Americans believe the assassination attempts on President Trump's were fake. Then the moon landing was on a soundstage and we're going to fall off the edge of the world. And they'll deal with that tomorrow morning after 8 o'clock on the next Handel Show.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Podcast will be released in a few minutes after 6 o'clock. And also you'll be able to watch the YouTube show in its entirety. We're live on YouTube now, and then it'll be it's being recorded. It'll be posted as a full 3-hour extravaganza coming up right after 6 o'clock. So you could watch or listen to any of this all night. You don't have to sleep. Just play everything over and over again. All right. This I cannot believe. Do you know the mayor of Arcadia is an illegal foreign agent for China? She's admitted to this. Eileen Wang. Eileen Wang was elected to City Council of Arcadia in November of 2022 and eventually became the mayor. And she has entered a plea agreement, pleading guilty to charges that she acted under the control of the Chinese government to promote propaganda in the U.S. She was being arraigned today. They already have a plea agreement worked out. Maximum sentence, 10 years. For 2 years, Eileen Wang worked with some guy named Yaoning Sung, known as Mike. It's her fiance. And they were running a website called U.S. News Center. It was supposed to be a news source for Chinese Americans. They would get directives from the Chinese government officials, and they would post articles and report back how many people viewed the stories. At one time, Wang got a message from the Chinese government about China's stance on the Xinjiang issue. That's the persecution, incarceration, and re-education of the Uyghurs. That's the Muslim minority. And so a message was written, there's no genocide in Xinjiang. There's no such thing as forced labor. Spreading such rumors to defame China, on and on and on. So they would get instructions on what to post for the Chinese American readers of their website. And it was all propaganda from the Chinese government. Wang edited articles at the request of the Chinese officials and shared information showing the reach of the posts. She was complimented for a post that was viewed more than 15,000 times, and she wrote back, "Thank you, leader." She never disclosed the Chinese government had directed her to post all this content. And her former fiancé served as campaign manager for this city council race. And they hoped she would rise in politics. Well, this is like our Eric Swalwell's alleged girlfriend in his office, his congressional office, the one that got him kicked off the Intelligence Committee. He used to deny that relationship. Yeah, okay. Wow. And I guess maybe they got a city council where they rotate, and one of them becomes mayor, and Eileen Wang is the mayor. So the mayor, you live in Arcadia, you had like a Chinese spy, a Chinese foreign agent running your city. It's just an anything goes era, isn't it? I'm done. I'm exhausted. We're going to be back tomorrow. So enjoy the podcast. That gets posted in a few minutes on the iHeartRadio app, and enjoy the YouTube live stream, the recorded live stream now. And we'll see you tomorrow. Conway's next. Michael Crozier has the news live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
KFI and KOST